Presents the best of the National Football League, the American Football Conference. Today from Shea Stadium, it's the Houston Oilers versus the New York Jets. Today's game is brought to you by the new Chrysler Corporation. For 1982, Chrysler has the cars, the quality, and the prices America needs. By Budweiser, for all you do, this Bud's for you. By Federal Express, when an absolutely, positively has to be there overnight, Federal Express. And by RCA Video Disc. Bring the magic home on RCA. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Marv Albert along with Jim Turner as we get set for the Houston Oilers and the New York Jets from Shea Stadium in New York as 10-year veteran Tony Fritsch gets set to kick to Kenny Lewis and Bruce Hopper. The Jets come in at 0-3, won up by Buffalo 31-0, losing to Cincinnati 31-30. Last Sunday, the drubbing in Pittsburgh 38-10. Oilers at 2-1 on the season. Kurt Sohn took it from Hopper, but it does not pick up much on it. So the Jets looking to maneuver right at the start.
Right away, right away.
19-yard return and all as you look at the Jet backfield. Richard Todd at quarterback. The free agent out of Purdue, Mike Augustiniak, getting a starting shot. And the receivers, Wesley Walker, Derek Gaffney. The tight end is Jerome Barkham. Several changes on the offensive line. Stan Waldemore replacing the injured Dan Alexander. John Roman replacing the injured Marvin Powell. 1st and 10 for the New York Jets at their 23-yard line. Freeman McNeil, the rookie from UCLA, stopped by Elvin Bethea. And a look at the 3-4 defense of the Houston Oilers. Andy Doris, who was a question mark because of a back injury, will start at left end. It was thought Mike Stensrud would get the start. Ken Kennard, the nose guard. Elvin Bethea, the right defensive end. Linebackers, Washington, Hunt, Bingham, and Brazil. Bobby Jones has replaced Derek Gaffney for a 2nd and 9, a 1-yard pickup by McNeil. And Todd throwing on 2nd down. Jerome Barkham, with no gain on the play of the left cornerback J.C. Wilson and the left outside linebacker Ted Washington making the stop. The secondary for Houston, there's J.C. Wilson, number 33. He's on the left side. Greg Stemrick on the right. The deep end, Mike Reinfeld and Vernon Perry.
196 games.
Now Hopper and Lewis in the Jet backfield. Jets have been criticized during the course of the season for rotating their backs too frequently. Todd throwing on 3rd down. He's got the 1st down. Completing to Bruce Hopper out of the 40-yard line.
A beautiful play. We'll take another look at it. Marv, they're coming out throwing. They have to create some excitement today. I think we're going to see Bruce coming out of off the line of scrimmage, just a straight down, and then watch. Rich is going to drop back. He's reading the defense. It's a nice throw because he was well covered. Look at that coverage. He'll take it, make an extra effort here for the 1st down. That's a nice play.
Robert Brazil making the stop on Bruce Hopper. It's a 1st down for the Jets at their 40-yard line. McNeil and Augustiniak are the running backs. And this is Augustiniak picking up 3 yards on the play. Andy Doris, the left defensive end, making the stop. Jim, do you feel that the talent on the Jets has been grossly overrated?
I don't know about grossly overrated, Mark, but I do believe in the preseason picks and even in the wintertime that they have been overrated. They're not a playoff team. They're not going to the Super Bowl. A lot of pressure has been placed on them. I think we see today this offense is going to come out throwing and be very versatile.
2nd and 7 at the Jet 43-yard line. It is broken up, intended for Wesley Walker. J.C. Wilson able to deflected away.
Marv, everybody goes at number 33, J.C. Wilson. Many people feel he's the weak link in the Houston backfield. That was a very nice play by him. It's typical of any quarterback. They're going to test him out right away and see if he's going to play up to snuff today.
Jim, of course, you played for Walt Michaels. The rap on him is he doesn't communicate well with the players. What are your feelings?
Well, I think that's a fair assessment. Walt's very, very loyal to some of his assistant coaches, and he doesn't communicate really well.
Is he at fault for what has taken place?
Not totally, but the coach is the boss on the field.
Arnott running out of the pocket, looking for the first down marker, but he's hauled down short. Out near midfield. Free safety Mike Reinfeldt. The crowd roaring for the Jets to go for it.
No, you must punt in this situation. It's too early. You have to punt in this situation.
And so Chuck Ramsey lays the punting unit on.
It's interesting that he's only had one punt blocked in his career. He's handled the winds in Shea Stadium quite well.
And you can certainly relate to that.
Yes, I can. 7 years here.
Roaches, second-year man out of Texas A&M, awaits the punt from Ramsey.
Excellent punt.
And so the Houston Oilers will take over at their 20-yard line. A 51-yard punt by Chuck Ramsey. We have 4 minutes gone by first quarter. The Jets and Houston are scoreless. Back at Shea Stadium, the Houston Oilers getting set to go 1st and 10 from their 20. Earl Campbell said to be as healthy as he has been all season long. Only has a bruised left shoulder, bruised right shoulder, and a bruised neck today. A look at the receivers and that offensive line. David Carter replacing Carl Mock at center. Mock hobbling last week and had the rough one against the Miami Dolphins. Stabler puts it up. This is Campbell. Earl Campbell making his way for a first down and some more.
Marv, they're doing just what they've been trying to do. Open their offense up. They've been working. Elijah Pitts has been working with Earl Campbell every day, throwing him 100 balls a day right after practice. They're running out of the split backfield, which is your passing formation. A quick pass to Earl. A lot of people don't think he can catch, and they're working on this. If he can become a pass receiving threat, he's going to open their offense up for him a great deal.
Donald Dykes made the stop on Campbell, who has had some difficulties in the past against the Jets. In 2 games against the Jets, held to 60 and 37 yards and was forced to leave both games in the 3rd quarter with knee problems. And another first down for Houston. 0-0. Ken Burrow covered up by the middle linebacker Stan Blinka. So Stabler going to the air successfully right at the start.
Kenny wants to do well. Look at him in this replay. Right down 0-0. Kenny Burrow, one of his favorite receivers. Perfect ball. It's down on the ground. He's not going to be intercepted. Kenny Stabler wants to do well in New York City.
13-yard pickup for Stabler. Last year here against the Jets, he threw 4 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Jets winning it in overtime. A game in the center of much controversy. Earl Campbell able to drive his way across midfield.
Just what we talked about. He ran out of the I formation. But take another look at Earl. Earl needs to run from the deep back position in the I formation. He's 7 yards back. He gets the ball. Now he has time to look, pick and choose, let the blocks open up. And of course, Earl is as great as anybody's ever been. If they hand him the ball a lot from I formation, he'll have a field day today.
Picked up 7, 2nd and 3. The game here at Shea last year in the spotlight relating to Stabler's alleged association with a gambling figure, and wants to do well here today. Earl Campbell with another Houston first down.
Marv, arm tackles won't knock that man down. You've got to hit him head up, maybe down on the shoestrings, but arm tackles aren't going to do it. He's already scored 46 touchdowns rushing. Watch him handle the ball once again from the eye. No way can you do that. Might as well get a bus ticket and ride him. He's not going to do it.
That was Kenny Schroy who could not hang on.
3 missed tackles. Finally, they hog time. No, sir.
And Houston moving well on this drive. First down at the Jet 39-yard line. Rob Carpenter, Earl Campbell out of the pro set. Lots of time. Well, the complaint last week was that Stabler had very little time. That time Mike Bauber not able to hang on as Blinka was covering on the play. And a look at that Jet defensive unit. Mark Gastineau, who had a big game against Houston here at Shea in that Jet overtime victory. Buttle, Blinka, and Mel are the linebackers. Holmes, Dykes, Schroy, and Ray are the deep men. Jerry Holmes replacing the injured Bobby Jackson. 2nd and 10. Houston at the Jet 39. 6 minutes gone by. No score. First quarter. Earl Campbell hit for a loss.
From the split backfield, he didn't get it. It was a good play by the defense, but I think Kenny, if he wants to score early here, I think he's going to have to throw to his tight end, maybe to Burrow, get a quick score, make everybody feel good, put the pressure on the Jets. They've had it on them all week. Might as well put it on them early here in the game.
Lyons and Mel combining to make that stop. First quarter, Atlanta in front of Cleveland, 3-0. And now Ronnie Coleman has come on, replacing Rob Carpenter. Stabler throwing the middle, and let's see what they're rolling. Good hit by Schroy on Renfro, and it's being called a completed pass. He had possession.
It's a judgment call, Marv. We've discussed this in the NBC meetings with the NFL officials. I'm not too sure that this wasn't a fumble. He hadn't hit the ground yet. It's a nice hit by Kenny Schroy. It's also a nice throw by Kenny Stabler. He's unshakable, Marv. Speaking of a man who's unshakable, there's a man with some pressure on him.
Walt Michaels, 23-42 as head coach of the Jets. He took over, frankly, a mess that was left by Lou Holtz, and then developed a competitive club. The Jets were 8-8 in both 78 and 79, but since then he's had great difficulties. 4-12 a year ago.
It's interesting that the people who are calling for his head today are some of the very people who demanded he'd be hired a couple of years back as the head coach of the New York Jets.
Walt Michaels was a very popular choice.
Yes, he was.
In the media. Because he was passed by originally.
Yes, he was.
It is a 4th and less than a yard. 7:45 left, first quarter. No score. Full house backfield. And the Oilers pick it up. Earl Campbell stopped by Salam and Buttle. May have been a juggling act prompting that roar, but Campbell hanging on.
That was a terrific tackle by Greg Buttle on Earl Campbell. We'll take, he's from the I backfield. If you get 3rd and 1, you might as well give it to the Sherman tank himself. But watch this hit by 51 Greg Buttle. That's a fine play by the defense. This is going to be close. It depends upon how they set it.
And the Oilers feel they picked it up.
It's going to be close, Marv.
From our broadcast angle, I thought they did. We'll see. They're having a meeting.
Holy cow.
They did not pick it up.
Good for the Jets. That'll pick them up. Good for them.
So Earl Campbell off the jarring tackle by Buttle, short of the first down. And the Jets will take over now. 1st and 10 at their 30-yard line. And the Oilers have had one possession. The Jets stopping Earl Campbell short of a first down. Jets take over. They mark it at the 29-yard line. Swing to McNeil. That time Todd showing patience as McNeil was stopped by Hunt and Kennard.
Well, we'll see him come out of the split backfield with Derek Gaffney in the slot. He was looking for Gaffney all the way. Good coverage by the Oilers. Now he dumps it off to Freeman McNeil. This is going to be a big asset for the Jets, this man's catching ability.
It is a 2nd and 3 off the 7-yard pickup on the reception. Just under 7 minutes left. First half, no score. This is McNeil. And he took a good pop. Short of a first down. Freeman McNeil, the Jets' #1 draft pick out of UCLA, rushed for 43 yards on 7 carries last week against the Steelers. Stopped by Doris and Bethea.
Houston defense always comes to play. They're known for hitting. We'll see some hitting today. I saw McNeil in his first game, the preseason game in Denver against the Broncos. Totally impressed with his ability as a running back.
It is a 3rd and 1. Scott Durking, Tom Newton, Kevin Long in the Jet backfield. It's Durking hurdling for a first down. Jets today going up against the #4 ranked defense in the AFC. The Oilers have allowed only 3 touchdowns in 3 games.
They've got some monsters on defense. Stenzerud, Kennard, Elvin Bethea, the old veteran, Jesse Baker. I like what I see out there. Robert Brazil, tremendous linebacker.
Jets 1st and 10 at their 41. Augustiniak and McNeil back in at running back. Augustiniak taking the quick pop at the 45 by the right inside linebacker Greg Bingham.
Greg Bingham has led the Oilers in 8 straight years in tackles. Watch this hit he puts on this man. Watch this. Hello, how are you? Headache. Underrated player on the Oilers. They think he just doesn't get enough publicity for the job he does for them.
Would you say that Greg plays with great enthusiasm?
Absolutely he does. He loves it. Most linebackers do.
2nd and 6 at the Jet 45. McNeil in motion. Augustiniak. First down and more. Bingham and Reinfeld make the stop on Mike Augustiniak, who had an excellent preseason, then cracked a rib against the Giants in a preseason game. A lot of drive and fire.
That was a nice call by Todd. Came back to the same man to the same spot. Got the first down. We'll watch him here on this pass coverage. They're giving up a little too much room for that short pass.
And Todd and the Jets have first down at the Houston 37-yard line. Todd looking long for Barker.
Beautiful pass.
First and goal at the 5. Jerome Barkham tackled by the right cornerback Greg Stemrick.
In his 10th year, Jerome Barkham named Captain Emeritus by Walt Michaels this year. Look at the pass play. It's a beautiful pattern. Very good coverage also. The Jets have opened it up, wouldn't you think?
Todd has looked very sharp here in this first quarter. 32-yard reception. 3.5 minutes remaining. First quarter, no score, but the Jets now first and goal at the 5. Walker to the right and Jones left. Look out.
Let's see if he was drawn off. You never know. Let's take a look. Well, I didn't see any movement, Marv.
That's Ken Kennard, the nose guard.
He was anxious.
And the man who took over for Curly Culp. And our first penalty of the day.
Number 71, half the distance to the goal line. Still first down.
Referee is Jim Tunney. The umpire Pat Harder. Head linesman Sid Seaman. The line judge Dick McKenzie. Back judge Pat Knight. The side judge Gil Mace. And the field judge Johnny Greer.
Big drive for the Jets.
First and goal at the 3. Newton, Long, and Durking in there. Kevin Long utilized in short yardage situations. Gang tackled. Vernon Perry, the strong safety, the first to get to him.
They tried to go around the end. He slipped trying to make the cutback. Maybe he's wearing. No, he's not. He wouldn't have gotten that far if he had high tops on.
Second and goal at the 2. This is Long again, and he's stacked up short of the goal line.
Tremendous effort on the Houston defense. They don't want to give up a touchdown to the Jets. They know that if they take over right early in the game, the Jets may roll it over. Watch this play. Look at the pursuit there. Outstanding play. Finished off by Elvin Bethea in his 14th year, 7 Pro Bowls.
So the Jets now 3rd and goal. At about the 1.5. Durkin, Newton, and Long in the backfield. Play action. Touchdown. Kevin Long. Only the 4th touchdown allowed by the Houston Oilers. And if there's any way that this crowd can be won over, it is on plays like this.
It goes without saying that was an outstanding drive by Richard Todd and the Jets. He faked the quick trap, found Kevin Long wide open in the end zone.
All right, Pat Leahy driving it through. 9 plays, 71-yard drive, consuming 5 minutes, 16 seconds. And the Jets in front of Houston by the score of 7-0.
To run.
Jim, the rap against the Jets among many is that they've looked too tight. They've been playing scared. That type of drive leading to the touchdown can certainly change things around.
I would think it would help them a great deal. They scored early. It was a long drive. They did a good job against a standing defense.
So the Jets up by the score of 7-0. Touchdown pass to Kevin Long, capping it off. And Pat Leahy will kick to Carl Rotris and Willie Tullis. The men ranked number 1 and 3 in kickoff returns in the AFC. This is Tullis with great speed. Willie Tullis. Oh, what a move.
He did that against the Rams. Broke the game open and they won in the last seconds. Willie Tullis, 75-yard return. My goodness. Terrible coverage by the New York Jets on that kickoff.
Johnson and Newton finally got him down. The rookie out of Troy State, who did it against the Rams to beat the Rams in the final minute. He went 95 yards for the score.
He's just outrunning everybody. Went right past Pat Leahy. Kickers don't want to hit anybody. They're not trained to hit anybody.
Jim talking from personal experience.
Absolutely. Good pursuit by the Jets to catch him, but this is what broke it open before for him.
First down for the Oilers at the Jet 25-yard line. And Jerry Holmes was beaten by Mike Renfro. Jerry Holmes replacing the injured Bobby Jackson. Beaten by wide receiver Mike Renfro, the 4-year veteran out of Texas Christian.
Boy, Kenny stood in there under an awful lot of pressure. Watch this. They're just coming through. Gastineau, he's knocked down a tremendous catch. I'm not too sure that he didn't fumble that ball at the end of that play. If they score here, this is going to hurt the very thing we talked about a second ago about the Jets.
It's a 19-yard pickup. Houston 1st and goal at the 6. Here's Campbell. Mark Gastineau. Abdul Salam getting the reps around the power move by Earl Campbell.
Running from the I formation once again. We were told we wouldn't see it today. I think that Kenny Stabler wants to run from the I with Earl Campbell.
Head coach Ed Biles, one-time assistant with the Jets and New Orleans after success as head coach at Xavier of Ohio. Ed Biles was an assistant under Bum Phillips for 7 years in Houston. It is a 2nd and goal at the 3, and again out of the I with Carpenter in front of Campbell. Say he got in. It looked like the Jets had stopped him. It is a touchdown. Again, poor tackling.
Poor tackling, but let's give credit to the man himself, 34, Earl Campbell. Is there anybody better? He took them all with him. You know, Eddie Biles was trying to diversify the offense this year so that they wouldn't have to rely on Tony Frischett kicking or Earl Campbell running the ball a lot. So far, they haven't been able to do that.
Reinfeldt will hold Mr. Accuracy, Tony Fretch.
I kicked a long time in the league, but I admire this little guy. Tremendous percentage of successful kicks made.
Looking to make it 5 out of 5 on the season in extra point conversions. Gastineau, one of several to jump.
You know, that's not a bad move on the defense. I've always adhered to this, that the defense should jump off sides. So what? It only costs them a few seconds or maybe a few yards, but it bothers the field goal kicker. And if you can mess up an extra point, it'll be penalized on the kickoff. But if you can mess up an extra point, who knows what the scoring combination will be at the end of the game.
Did that bother you?
I think in a cold weather in the wind, yes, it bothered me, sure.
Did not bother Tony Fretch.
Early in the year, sun's out.
So we are tied at 7 with 40 seconds remaining in this first quarter. We'll be right back. With his touchdown of the season. And we're tied at 7. Tony Fretch getting set to kick to the combination of Kurt Sohn and Kenny Lewis. This is Sohn. Sohn hit down at the 15-yard line. Ted Thompson leading the assault. And the Jets will take over with only 29 seconds remaining in this first quarter. A reminder, next Sunday, join Brian Gumbel for NFL 81. All the highlights and scores, late breaking news from all the games, and a doubleheader of NFL action featuring an AFC East battle. Burt Jones leading the Baltimore Colts against the swarming defense of the Bills at Buffalo. And the Cleveland Browns travel to Los Angeles meeting the Rams. We suggest you check your local listings for the games in your area. That is next Sunday, 12:30 Eastern Time here on NBC. Mike Augustiniak, the first-year pro out of Purdue, who was signed as a free agent.
Watch Kennard, the nose tackle. Watch this. It just keeps stringing it out, stringing it out. Joe Fields is trying to block him. He's doing a good job. But in stringing it out, Kennard gets all the help he wants.
Augustiniak picked up 5. 2nd and 5 at the 20 upcoming. You just heard the gun. That's the end of the first quarter here at Shea. On a beautiful 78-degree day in New York City. First quarter complete. We're tied at 7. Thank you, Brian. Pittsburgh coming off the 38-10 defeat of the New York Jets a week ago. Second quarter underway here at Shea. Jets on the offense. 2nd and 5 at their 20-yard line. Freeman McNeil, look out. Number 32, Vernon Perry, a little hyped up on that play.
I'm not sure the Jets have the talent in the interior line today to be running up the middle. Richard opened up, throwing the ball, moved it down very nicely for a long touchdown drive. Stick with what's going for you.
And Todd is 7 for 8, 76 yards. 3rd and 5 at the 21. Hopper and Lewis now in the backfield, so the Jets continue to shuffle their running backs. Hopper on the completion. Beautiful move by Hopper, who hurt the Oilers last year here at Shea in that Jet overtime victory. Greg Stembrick, the right cornerback, forced him out of bounds.
Very sharp pass to Bruce Harper. Watch the move he makes here. One-on-one on a linebacker. Tough to cover a little fast guy like him. Gets the first down, tries to keep his feet and stay in bounds. Very nicely done by Richard Todd.
Hopper picking up 20, first down for the Jets at their 42-yard line. Jets in Houston tied at 7. That's Bobby Jones in motion. Wesley Walker, penalty marker down in the backfield. A short pickup. J.C. Wilson was right there to snuff it out.
Just a quick screen to your flanker. Wilson may have been offside. He threw it so quick.
Illegal procedure on the Jets. Let's go to Brian Gumbel in New York.
Okay, Marv, out at Riverfront, the Bengals are
All right, Bryant, the penalty is called on the Jets. Bobby Jones, the man called for the penalty. He was offside as he peeled off to the left. So the Jets now 2nd and 10 at their 42-yard line. Gaffney in the slot to the left. McNeil could not find the running room. He tried to cut outside. Greg Bingham, the right inside linebacker, was right there.
The Jets don't look like a team today that allowed 566 yards on them last week by the Steelers, do they?
Well, they have actually been as sharp as I have seen them. They had their spots in the game against the Bengals, although it turned out they blew that game late.
They did blow that one. There's no question for that. They did blow that one.
Jets now have a 3rd and 4 at their 45-yard line. First down for Wesley Walker out of the 40, and Richard Todd is now 10 of his first 11. It was Carter Hartwig making the stop on Walker. A check of the scoreboard. Cincinnati in front of Buffalo. Ken Anderson to Chris Collinsworth. 13-yard pass play. Pittsburgh, as Brian Gubble passed out a moment ago, leading New England. Franco Harris completing a drive with a 1-yard run. And Atlanta over Cleveland on a 35-yard field goal. Right here, Jets and Houston tied at 7. 2.5 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. Had it deflected away by the left corner, J.C. Wilson.
They're definitely working on J.C. Wilson. There's no question in my mind. They went last time. They came right back with it again. Actually, J.C. was out of position then. He gets his arm in there. He stumbled. He made a great recovery.
2nd and 10 for the Jets at the Houston 40. Off a sustained drive, the Jets took a 7-0 lead. The drive capped off by Todd hitting Long. A 1-yard pass play. Houston came back. 75-yard kickoff return by Willie Tullis to set it up, and Earl Campbell brought it in. Penalty marker down as McNeil tried to pick his way.
I see now why Richard Todd set an NFL record in pass completions last year against the 49ers. His running game to date is non-existent.
Offside against the Oilers. And here's the official call by Jim Tunney.
Offside, defense, number 67. Still 2nd down.
It is Mike Stensrud, the left defensive end, called for the offside. It is now a 2nd and 5 for the Jets. Tom Newton has come on, replacing Mike Augustiniak. Jets have been severely criticized in the media for the constant shuffling of running backs, and they continue to do so. Newton close to the 1st down marker. Run out by Elvin Bethea.
Don't you think they've been criticized rather fairly? They draft Freeman McNeil #1, and he doesn't carry the ball all that often yet. He's tremendous talent.
And McNeil has looked good when he has played, as was the case last week. No score, Oakland and Detroit in the 2nd quarter. Freeman McNeil was the 3rd pick overall in the NFL draft. Now Newton, Long, and Durkin in the backfield for this 3rd and 1. Kevin Long for a 1st down.
It's going to be close. Very close. I don't think they made it.
Kevin Long has been upset about not playing at all against Pittsburgh last Sunday. He has seen considerable action here in the 1st half against Houston. Sat out the entire game in Pittsburgh last week.
It's a sure ticket out of here, Marv, when players are upset and the coach is upset and the fans are on the coach.
Oilers indicated they're short. You're right, Jim. They are short.
How about those eyes?
Very good.
See, this would be an interesting kick. If they decided to kick a field goal, Pat Leahy would have to go from dirt to grass, which might hinder his approach. So I think Walt is deciding to go for it here.
So the Jets have 4th and inches.
This is a good call by Coach Walt Michaels.
McNeil and Long in the backfield, and Todd on the sneak.
I don't think that was a tough decision for Walt to make that, really. 3 points would have been fine, but your kicker's coming off the dirt. He's got to jump over that lip. A good safe play for your quarterback, who is a big quarterback, by the way, to make a sneak for inches.
And it is a first down for the Jets, so it turned out to be the right decision for Walt Michaels. 3 minutes have gone by. Second quarter. Jets and Houston are tied at 7. And the Jets have a first down at the Houston 30-yard line. That Jet offensive line, Chris Ward, John Roman at the tackles. Roman replacing the injured Marvin Powell out with a knee ailment. Stan Waldemore for the injured Dan Alexander at right guard. Randy Rasmussen on the left side. In the center is Joe Fields. Intended for Wesley Walker. Greg Stemrick covering on the play. It'll be a 2nd and 10 for the Jets at the Houston 30-yard line.
I've noticed in the running game they're running left over Chris Ward rather than going to John Roman's side, who's replacing Marvin Powell today. Maybe a little more faith by Richard Todd on the left side today.
Jim, when you reach this point, particularly with the Jets now under a media microscope, can a turnaround take place, or is it unlikely?
I would say in the Jets case it's unlikely because they're so young. Pittsburgh came back because they had the great veterans.
And McNeil has stopped. Greg Bingham in on the tackle. For an update, let's go back to NFL 81. Here's Brian Gumbel.
All right, Marv, out at River.
And back at Shea Stadium, the Jets with a 3rd and 9 at the 29 as McNeil picked up a yard on the play. Bruce Hopper, Kenny Lewis back in the lineup. Lewis, number 20, 2nd-year man out of Virginia Tech. Bruce Hopper in his 5th year.
He called timeout because there was only 1 second left on the 30-second clock. They're trying to avoid a penalty right there.
And we have seen this kind of confusion on several occasions this season. All right, a timeout is called. We'll be back in a moment. Back at Shea Stadium, we just saw some confusion on the part of the Jets. And Jim, this has happened, as we mentioned, times in the past. They've wasted timeouts that have cost them. Why this confusion?
Oh, I think some of it comes in coaching. Richard didn't watch the 30-second clock then. It could cost him points later on in this game.
It's a 3rd and 9 for the scrambling Todd, who unleashes one. Wesley Walker clearly beat Mike Reinfeldt.
He clearly beat Reinfeldt, but let's give credit to Richard Todd, who scrambled out. He could have run for 10 or 12 yards. He saw the receiver, threw the touchdown. Kudos to Richard Todd right there. Watch the coverage. We've got a good view of the secondary here. Watch him. Now he's scrambling. Now he makes his break. He's totally wide open, but only after Richard scrambled out of the hole.
So Pat Ryan holding for Pat Leahy. And the Jets have jumped in front of the Houston Oilers by the score of 14-7. Richard Todd completed to Wesley Walker. We'll be back with the Jet kickoff in a moment. Thank you, Bryant. And Pat Leahy getting set to kick off to the tandem of Carl Rochus and Willie Tullis. Last kickoff, Tullis returned it 75 yards. Rochus lets it fly by.
Outstanding kickoff by Leahy.
Well, the Jets with a 13-play drive, 85 yards, and here's the excellent maneuver by Richard Todd.
Tremendous athletic ability here. Gets him out 7 points. Look at this. Could not have done it if he hadn't had good legs underneath Richard. A lot of quarterbacks like Morton, even Stabler, they can't move. That's why they got 7 points from there.
Wesley Walker with his second touchdown reception of the season. And the Jets consuming 4 minutes, 44 seconds to do it. Houston 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line. Earl Campbell stopped by Klecko and Bell.
Marv, a quick touchdown, a nice drive by the offense. Always hypes up your defense. A nice play by Joe Klecko, number 73. He ought to be pretty proud of an old teammate of his, Steve Watson from Denver, who scored 3 touchdowns last week.
Klecko has been limping right throughout the week.
He plays hurt, Marv. He plays hurt.
He's been hobbling with a sprained ankle. Loss of 1, 2nd and 11 back at the 19 as they go out of the eye. Campbell found the hole, but the Jets then closed it.
Well, Kenny's playing it safe down here. He's not going to throw one up, cough it up, and let him have good field position or another cheap touchdown. You can't shake up Kenny Stabler. He wrote the book on coolness on the field.
Lyons, Bell, and Schroy combining. 3-yard pickup. It's a 3rd and 8 at the 22. And the Jets put the extra defensive back in. Johnny Lynn comes in at the nickel back position. Lots of time for Stabler. And it is intercepted. Pass intended for Renfro. Johnny Lynn, the 2nd-year man out of UCLA, with a big play for the Jets.
Look at the excitement. Maybe they can pull it together here for this game, Marv. Just maybe. The ball was underthrown, though. Let there be no question about that. A nice interception. We're going to take a look at Kenny. A lot of people still question Kenny's ability to throw the ball to the sideline. Very good coverage. Renfro tries to take it away from him. No, that's a nice interception. Good pressure by Joe Klecko on Stabler. Watch him. Kenny's moving. Big play for the Jets.
Back live. Jets take over. 1st down at the Houston 40-yard line. Trick play upcoming. Flea flicker. Todd's got Richard Todd to Mike Augustiniak, and Todd fires the flea flicker.
Perfect timing for that call right after an interception. Look at it, no one within 15 yards of him.
Wesley Walker with his 2nd touchdown reception of the day.
Nice call, Joe Walton, offensive coordinator.
Here's Leahy. And this capacity crowd that, as anticipated, booed the Jets as they came out of the field at the start, has been turned around. The Jets leading Houston by the score of 21-7. It's received a rousing standing ovation from the crowd off the successful flea flicker. 40 yards in the air. Todd to Augustiniak, to Todd to Walker. They were trying to keep it away from Tullis and Roches. Carl Roches run out of bounds. Johnny Lynn, who picked off the pass that led to the last Jet touchdown, running him out of bounds.
Take a look at it again. A trick play, short flea flicker. Whoa, Todd was met with a hit there. Look at this. No one there. A perfect call after an interception.
It has all gone right for the New York Jets here in the 1st half. Looking to bounce back from the 0-3 start, and they lead it 21-7. 6 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. From the 23, Stabler 1st down. Spinning move by Carpenter. And this crowd is really in the game. Stan Blinka making the stop on Rob Carpenter.
Blinka had 26 tackles last year here at Shea against the Oilers. You know, when the offense helps that defense out, it brings them alive. We saw it on good coverage on the kickoff, too.
And thus far, Earl Campbell has been held in check. He did score the Houston touchdown, but has 22 yards on 8 carries.
But let's remember, Kenny Stabler is still the opposing quarterback.
It is still very early, as both the Jets and Houston saw it last year in the ball game here at Shea. Kenny Barr, the intended receiver, again. It is picked off. This time, Darrell Ray. So Stabler intercepted by Lynn and now by Ray.
We're going to see it again. Once again, the ball is not thrown with the power. Look at the great recovery by Ray. Oh, he had a touchdown if he didn't step out of bounds there. The all-decade team of Oklahoma in the 70s. Darrell Ray.
Jim, what is the problem with this Houston offense? They had difficulties last week. There's been criticism that Stabler can't throw long.
I think he can throw long. I don't think there's any question that the crispness is taken off his ball, though.
First down at the 43, Augustiniak. He was bumped out by Ted Washington, number 59, and the left corner, J.C. Wilson.
The Oiler offense has deserved the criticism it's received already. So has the Jets in their criticism. This is a game today where Kenny's now backed up against the wall against the team who's been browbeaten not only by the press, everybody in New York. When you give a sleeping dog a break, he's going to come back, believe me.
2nd and 8 for Houston at the Jet 41-yard line. 8 minutes remaining first half. Jets on top 21-7. McNeil and Augustiniak in the backfield. Augustiniak stopped at the line, but a penalty marker is down. Flag is down. Let's go back to NFL 81. Here's Brian Gumbel with an update. Jim Tunney indicating the offside against the Jets. Houston declining. So a 3rd and 8 is upcoming, and the Jets are 4 of 9 thus far on 3rd down conversions.
Todd's been very comfortable at just about any pass he's wanted to throw in this situation. This is a big play right now for the Houston Oilers.
Walker is left. Bobby Jones to the right. And Todd puts it up for Gaffney. Broken up. Good play by Vernon Perry, the strong safety, to keep it away from Derek Gaffney.
I question that call. 8 yards to go. They've been very successful throwing under. He was a little too hungry right there, Marv. I question that call. A couple of yards further up, they could have got into field goal range.
So Chuck Ramsey will punt for the 2nd time this afternoon. Carl Roches back in single safety. He's averaging only 4.5 yards per return as he awaits the Ramsey punt. Roches goes 5'8", 165. He's a 2nd-year man out of Texas A&M, and a directional attempt by Ramsey, but got too much on it. So they'll bring it out to the 20. He was looking to angle it to the corner. Just under 8 minutes remaining in this first half. The Jets in front of Houston by the score of 21-7. Back at Shea, this is Marv Albert along with Jim Turner, one-time outstanding place kicker for the New York Jets and the Denver Broncos. The Jets in front 21-7. Houston first down at their 20. Tim Wilson. Earl Campbell now in the backfield. Campbell follows Wilson and gets outside. Earl Campbell.
He can run, Kenny. 235 pounds. Once again, a quick pitch out of the I formation. So what we were told before isn't holding up, Marv. Watch him turn the corner here. You wouldn't think a man that big would be that fast. Look at him. If he hadn't stumbled right there, he may have gone 80 yards.
And number 47, Jerry Holmes, second-year man out of West Virginia, able to race him down. A 44-yard run by Campbell. That's his season-long 67 yards, 9 carries now for Campbell. First down at the 37. And Stabler brought down by Gastineau. Mark Gastineau, who saw a lot of Kenny Stabler in the game last year here at Shea, with his first sack of the day.
It's his first sack of the year. He had a field day last year. 3 sacks, caused Mo Towns, the offensive tackle of the Oilers, to hold him 3 times. I think Gastineau and Kenny Stabler knew each other pretty well last year. Watch it. We'll see it again. A quick fake in there to Earl. He's looking. Everybody's covered. And Gastineau, watch him throw him down. Oh, you can't treat an old fellow like that. Look at him.
A loss of 10 on the play, making for a 2nd and 20 for the Oilers. Earl Campbell swallowed up at the 45. Joe Klecko among several Jets to get at Earl Campbell, and we're looking at a crisper New York Jet ball club right now. But keep in mind, last year here at Shea, the Jets led the Oilers 21-0 at one point. Houston came back, and then the Jets pulled it out in overtime. So we still have a long way to go. It is a 3rd and 18. Ronnie Coleman has replaced Tim Wilson in the Houston backfield. Look out. The blitz, and Stabler goes down again. Combination of Gastineau and Ray on the blitz. But a penalty marker is thrown.
A safety blitz. A safety blitz caught Kenny then. We were told before the game that they would do anything they could today to win this game. I think we might see a little roughing the quarterback there. Face masking. That hurts. That really hurts. We'll take another look at it. We're going to see Darrell Ray, the safety, coming in. Tremendous pressure from everywhere. Yeah, there it is. Gastineau puts the finishing touches on it, but there was a face mask.
Personal foul, grasping the face mask, 5 yards and first down.
Jim, what do you assess as the major reason that the Jets have been able to turn around to this point in this ball game?
I really think it's simple. Everybody in the world has been against the Jets, the New York media, the fans, and now that they see they've got an opportunity to come together as a team, it's pretty easy for them to play good now.
You feel there's less pressure on them now?
Yes, at this moment, yes.
First down at the 48-yard line. Tim Wilson, who nearly coughed it up, gets to the 45. Buttle and Blinka bring him down short of a first down.
That wasn't a sharp handoff. We'll see it here. He didn't really have it in his possession for the first 3 or 4 yards. Look at. That's one of the good breaks of the game for the Oilers, that they didn't fumble right away right there, and still picked up 6-7 yards.
2nd and 3 for Houston at the Jet 45-yard line. Again, they're out of the eye. It's Campbell. Close to the first down marker. Abdul Salam makes the stop. Penalty marker down. Right here, though, let's go to Bryant Gumbel.
Well, Marv, we told you there was...
All right, Bryant, they are walking off the penalty against the New York Jets. Donald Dykes with a late hit.
Well, it was a late hit, but he's been very aggressive in the last 2 series with any receiver coming down his side.
Number 26, first down.
If he doesn't watch it, Kenny's going to throw a touchdown right by him here. He'll wake him up in a hurry.
Of course, if you're the Jets, you don't want to pick up penalties, but aggressive type penalties being picked up on the part of this ball club, not a bad thing. You know they're in the ball game.
That's right.
Reverse, and Burrow not able to do anything with it. Kenny Schroy hitting Burrow back at the 40, but again a penalty marker down.
Schroy read that one all the way. He saw the reverse action and just came up to support. Oh, tough break for the Jets.
But now the Jets are being hit by costly penalties. Both Houston and the Jets no stranger to these circumstances the past couple of weeks.
I believe they're going to call that one on Joe Klecko. I think they've just called it.
Number 73, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 73.
Yes, on Joe Klecko. He was arguing about the call, and Jim Tunney is not going to let this game get out of hand.
You saw Tunney go to his lips to indicate the penalty, a little bit too much mouth on the part of Joe Klecko.
Well, by golly, a defensive player, as you said, should get hostile. He should be aggressive out there.
First down, half the distance of the goal line.
That's 3 penalties in a row, 2 major ones. You can't have it if you're going to, try to win this game today.
So the Oilers marching down off those penalties assessed on the Jets. They have a first down at the Jet 12-yard line. Stabler for Casper, not able to hold on.
You won't see that very often. Dave Casper dropping a touchdown pass. That's a DB drop ball. Perfect pass by Kenny Stabler. See the tail end of it. Casper's wide. A perfect pass. Look at this. Very seldom do you see this.
Casper beat Buttle. It's been a rough week for Casper, playing with a pulled hamstring. He's been battling the flu. Actually has not been healthy since the opening game against the Rams. 2nd and 10 at the 12. Just under 5 minutes left. Second quarter. Rob Carpenter. It's Buttle stopping Carpenter.
Great defense. I just don't know what to say. I am surprised at the way the defense is playing. They're reading their plays. Their game plan evidently was well scouted out this week. Kenny's going to have to go to the air to score in this ball club.
I would think, Jim, from all the abuse the Jet defensive unit has taken, particularly the last week, you would really not need any clippings up on the bulletin board.
No, and when you say all the abuse, you're being very nice to him.
It is 3rd and about 18. And Stabler's pass deflected away. They swarm on Stabler. Lance Mel from the right side. Mark Gastineau from the left. And again, the ovation from the crowd. Tony Fritsch, who is 6 for 7 thus far this season. His only miss was a blocked field goal. Will come on following the deflected pass. Reinfeld holding. It's a 37-yard attempt. And it's good.
Tony is the leading active scorer in the AFC, the leading percentage kicker in football.
So the Jets over the Oilers now, 21-10.
Off the white bellied.
37-yard field goal by Tony Fritsch off that Houston drive. That was stopped by the Jets, but a drive that was helped by 7 penalties in all. 2 declines, 7 penalties for 61 yards called against the Jets. This is Sohn on the juggling end. Kurt Sohn out to the 27-yard line. The penalty situation here in the second quarter, reminiscent of the Jet defeat at the hands of the Bengals 2 weeks ago, when they were called for 19 penalties in all, 14 of which were accepted.
Marv, Tony Fritsch has a weakness in the kicking game. It's his kickoffs. Has a very nice run back. Good field position now for the Jets.
Jets first down at their 27-yard line. 4 minutes remaining in this first half. And the Jets lead 21-10. And again, Todd completes to Walker. Wesley Walker has caught 2 touchdown passes, 1 on the flea flicker. Vernon Perry, the strong safety, making the stop.
And once again, they come over to the right offensive side against number 33, J.C. Wilson.
It is close to a first down, and they are calling for the yardsticks.
Marv, have you seen Richard Todd look this crisp this year to date?
No, not even close.
Not even close.
Todd comes in with a 55% completion average. As you see, the Jets pick up the first down, but that's a tainted figure because he has been involved in some mop-up situations, so you really can't get a reading on a 55% average.
You know, Stabler said it's unfair to leave his defense on the field as long as they've been, and it looks like they're doing it again today.
Jets first down at the 37-yard line. This is McNeil. Out to the 44. 7-yard advance. Darrell Hunt, Rick Stemrick combined on UCLA's Freeman McNeil.
Leading rusher out of UCLA, over 3,200 yards rushing. #1 draft choice for the New York Jets this year. That's what I like about him, Marv. I like the way he can just pick his hole and run through in there.
And Freeman has been seeing action here in this first half. 2nd and 3. Big rush. Todd able to elude it, but not able to elude Jesse Baker, the 3-year pro out of Jacksonville State.
Big rush by number 67, Mike Stensrud. Jesse Baker, their designated rusher, came in to shut it down. I think if Richard could have gotten out of that one, we would have seen a very exciting play. Look at Walt. He knows it. Could have been 6 there if he could have got out of that hole.
It is a 3rd and 7 at the Jet 41-yard line. Hopper and Lewis now in the backfield. Bobby Jones slot right. Nearly picked off. Intended for Bobby Jones. Vernon Perry very upset with himself.
Well, they flooded the right zone again. Vernon Perry and J.C. Wilson's side. Vernon Perry, all-pro a couple of years ago. He's been hurting this year. Watch J.C. back up. They're going to run it down and in. Pretty good pass. Vernon's there to support. Strong safety coming inside. Just about made an outstanding interception.
So Chuck Ramsey from his 26-yard line. He's been averaging 47 yards. And a beauty. Roaches. Snowed under. Inside the 15. Kenny Lewis, number 20, leading the attack on Carl Roaches as we approach the 2-minute mark here of this first half. Buffalo leading Cincinnati 14-7 in the second quarter. Pittsburgh over New England 14-7 in the second. Atlanta by 3 over Cleveland 10-7 second quarter. Oakland and Detroit no score in the second. Philadelphia leading Washington 7-3. And Miami over Baltimore. Bryant will have all the details and the highlights upcoming at halftime on NFL 81. Beautiful punt by Ramsey, Jim, 64 yards.
Roach is committed the first sin of a punt return, man. Never field the ball inside the 10.
And first down at the 13. Rob Carpenter stopped by Klecko and Blinken. And now the 2-minute warning is provided. Jets leading Houston by the score of 21-10. Was furnished as a public service by the National Football League. Well, thus far, Earl Campbell has outrushed the New York Jets, who have primarily done it through the air.
Well, Richard Todd's been very crisp. Right now, it's interesting that the Houston Oilers receivers are looking back into the sunshine now. It's important for Stabler to try to get downfield and at least get 3 at this moment, but they are looking back into the sun.
And the wind, to this point, not a factor, as it has often been the case here at Shea, as you can attest to.
A rare day in Shea.
2nd and 4 from the 19. The swing for Campbell. But the Jets right there. Lance Bell, 56. Stan Blinken, 54. So the Houston Oilers now in the 2-minute offense. One of the glaring problems of the New York Jets in previous weeks.
Well, that was a very smart move by Earl Campbell. Catch it. Don't try to hurt anybody. Go out of bounds. Help your quarterback with the clock.
And it's a 3rd and 3 for Houston at their 20. Incomplete. Blinken able to break it up. Rob Carpenter, the intended receiver, but a penalty marker down.
This will be an interesting call. The man was on his back. The Jet was on his back, but I don't know.
No foul. Ball could not have been caught. 4th down.
He says the ball could not have been caught.
Well, apparently Carpenter, as we will see, was flat on top of the ball. All right.
Okay. He's the official. I must question that call right now.
Well, he felt that the ball and Carpenter had hit the surface at the same time, so therefore you're not buying it, Jim.
No, I'm not buying it a bit.
Cliff Parsley getting set to punt from a 6-yard line. Bruce Hopper in single safety. And good hang time. Flag is thrown. Hopper at the 35. Out to the 43-yard line. Covered up by Carter Hartwig, but again a marker down.
That's a tough call there. Parsley normally doesn't hit him that good. He's had a pretty rough year to date, even though he had a good one last week. It's tough to punt or kick in Shea, but when you hit one like that, you certainly don't want a penalty to bring you back. Against the Jets.
A 50-yard punt by Parsley. Hopper returning it 13 yards. Well, Cleveland leading Atlanta now 14-10 in the second quarter. Bryant will have the complete story around the National Football League coming up on NFL 81 at halftime.
Marv, even though the Jets are ahead 21-10 at this point, how many penalties do they think they can accumulate and still keep the lead?
Holding while the ball was in the air is a post-possession foul, penalized from the spot where the ball was caught. 10 yards and 1st down.
Post-possession foul. They didn't let the cover men down. That's what that is. Post-possession foul.
It's one you do not see too frequently.
No. It's like tripping. You don't see that one very often.
It is a 1st down for the Jets now back at their 20-yard line. Todd goes short, but it's incomplete. Kenny Lewis, the intended receiver, and a penalty marker down, and the crowd roaring their appreciation.
That's a good call. Robert Brazil was all over his back. He's hitting himself in disgust. He knows. That's a good call by the official right there.
There's the perennial All-Pro.
Defense, number 52. 1st down.
Robert Brazil in his 7th season out of Jackson State.
If you could ever want the perfect prototype for a linebacker, he is it. Look at him. Tremendous size. He's extremely fast. 5 times in the Pro Bowl. He's something.
6'4", 237-pounder Robert Brazil. 1st down at the 22. Todd able to beat Baker, and now in trouble. Hammer down across the 25-yard line. Darrell Hunt, Ted Washington. Todd able to get off the play in a hurry now. The pass complete for Barkham. 1st down and more across the 40-yard line. The hurry-up offense being utilized by the Jets. Keep in mind, they are 1 timeout short because they did waste one earlier.
I like this aggressiveness, Marv. They were in a hole. I like what I see on offense right now.
And that one, a dangerous pass. Double coverage.
Saves them a timeout. Now they can regroup in the huddle.
Double coverage on Gaffney. And the clock is stopped with 50 seconds remaining in this 1st half.
This allows Richard to gather his thoughts. The young team, offensive team in front of him. They can regroup in there, talk about it. It's as good as a timeout sometimes. They have 50 seconds on the clock. Let's see what he can do in 50 seconds. Let's see if he can utilize a 2-minute drill that they've been failing to do so in the season to date.
2nd down for the Jets at their 43. And that that time, Kenny Lewis stumbled, lost his footing. Robert Brazil covering on the play, so it'll be a 3rd and 10 coming up.
This will be an interesting call. Do you try to move it up? You go for the bomb? What do you do? I think I'd be hesitant to throw over the middle at this point.
Richard Todd in his 6th year out of Alabama, coming off a very long afternoon against the Steelers, has been superb here today. Houston doing some last-second shuffling, and they were forced to call a timeout. They had an extra player on the field.
You know, that's an interesting call. They saved themselves a penalty. In effect, they may have helped the Jets in the huddle gather themselves, something we said before. Richard now can go over the sideline, talk to Joe Walton during this timeout. Maybe they can come up with a play. That may come back to bother the Houston Oilers.
And Richard Todd talking it over with the offensive coordinator, Joe Walton. There's Ed Biles, head coach of the Houston Oilers. Ed Biles rode to work every day for 7 years in the same pickup truck with Bum Phillips, and then he ended up replacing Bum.
Oh, there's a lot of chewing and talking in that truck. An interesting story in one of the New York papers this week saying under Joe Walton, the New York offense looks like they play like the Waltons.
Oh.
They're harsh here in New York. They're very harsh.
How can you say that, Jim?
Well, I don't know.
45 seconds remaining in this first half, and the Jets have a 3rd and 10 at their 43-yard line. Todd is 15 for 22, 212 yards. He's thrown for 3 touchdowns. Swing pass, Kenny Lewis, and short of a first down. Looked like he lunged to try to pick up a couple of yards, but they're marking it short of the first down. Greg Bingham and Greg Stemrick make the stop at midfield.
Good call for Houston to call timeout, not allowing the Jets to run the clock down here at 4th down. They must decide now. We go for it. They're bringing the punt team in. Very good call by Bingham of the Houston Oilers. Who knows? Ramsey may make a bad punt. Roaches could run it all the way back. One never knows, as a result of the Los Angeles game when Tullis ran it all the way back. Every play should be utilized. Don't have any giveaways in football.
Ramsey has punted well this afternoon. He's back at his 35-yard line. Roaches awaiting at his 10. We have 36 seconds, as you see, remaining in the first half. And the Jets leading Houston 21-10 in a surprise. 3 touchdowns thrown by Todd, including a successful flea flicker. High snap. And again, Ramsey promotes the return, and it just did angle out of bounds, but across that goal line.
It crossed the goal line, but that's about as close as you're ever going to come to a perfect punt to the corner.
So it'll come out to the 20-yard line with 27 seconds remaining in this first half.
Marv, right here in this stadium, I saw the Oakland Raiders with Darryl LaMonica beat the New York Jets with 1 second on the clock in the game. So with 27 seconds in the game, we'll see if the Houston Oilers decide just to run it out, go in and regroup, or what. But you can do anything with time on that board.
Jim, that would only happen in the old AFL.
In the old AFL. God bless the AFL.
First down at the 20-yard line. Here's Carpenter heading outside. Rob Carpenter, nice move. And now the clock is stopped for the Oilers. That is their final timeout this first half with 19 seconds remaining.
That's a nice run by Carpenter, but we got to realize the Jets were playing rather soft there. Nothing cheap, nothing long.
So the Houston Oilers first down at their 38-yard line. 18-yard run by the 5-year man out of Miami of Ohio, Rob Carpenter. Head coach Ed Miles chatting with Ken Stabler. Someone wrote that Stabler looks like a pirate who loves his work. It's not a bad description.
It's not a bad description. I guarantee you he loves his work. If you've never been snake bit, beaten in the last 2 seconds by Kenny Stabler, you've never had the privilege of watching a man work like a surgeon and tear a team apart. I have the utmost respect for Kenny Stabler.
Ken has had his difficulties, though, against the Jets in their last 2 meetings, and both were overtime games. Houston winning one and the Jets winning last year, but in his last 2 games against the Jets, he's suffered 9 interceptions going into today and has had his problems in that area in the first half.
Some teams rise up and play against other teams very good. In the old days, the Jets had a hard time beating the Denver Broncos.
Jets going with 6 defensive backs. Stabler is crushed again. It's Joe Klecko getting to the quarterback.
He's had 1 sack now in each game. 4 in 4 games. Joe Klecko.
And time running down.
They were going to go for a Hail Mary. Had flooded the zone on the left side. Watch the rush.
The clock will run out of the first half for the New York Jets. Their finest moments of this 1981 season. At halftime, in a surprise, the Jets leading the Houston Oilers by the score of 21-10. We'll be back with our halftime activities. NFL 81 upcoming right after these words.
$2 million.
Well, the Jets are rising to the occasion, but on the other side of the field, the Houston Oilers are not playing very well offensively. Kenny's passes have not been that sharp. A couple of them have been picked off, and they're giving the New York Jets, who've been downbeaten by the press and everybody here, they're giving them a second chance.
Jet defense has done the job. A flea flicker was successfully completed by Richard Todd at halftime. Jets over Houston 21-10. We'll be back in a moment.
Sunday, it's Bob.
This 1981 National Football League game is brought to you by Schlitz, the Master Brewer's Brew. Just one taste and you'll know behind every Schlitz is a man who knows his beer. By Champion Spark Plug Company, Champion, world's #1 seller. By the new Chrysler Corporation. For 1982, Chrysler has the cars, the quality, and the prices America needs. And by IB. Back at Shea, Marv Albert, Jim Turner. We're getting set for the second half. Jets leading Houston 21-10, and Jim Turner is in the stands canvassing thoughts from fans. Let's go downstairs to Jim.
Thank you, Marv. I'm in section 18 here in Shea Stadium. I'm going to ask a gentleman right now, with all the grief on Walt Michaels this past week, what do you think about the Jets now?
I think the Jets are a fine football club. They may be badly coached.
You think they're badly coached?
I think so. When I see people, coaches like Tom Landry and Bum Phillips, and all having great successes with good teams, I think that really they might be badly coached.
You think they should change the coach?
I think so.
Thank you. All right, where you at? Here's 2 guys that really want to talk to us. What do you think about the Jets today after looking so poorly last week?
This week they look great. I can't understand what the difference is. How come they can't play like this every week?
Well, this is the NFL, that's why.
Why? They should be able to do this. They can do this against Houston. Come on.
They make too many mistakes.
What kind of mistakes?
Penalties, too many penalties.
Too many penalties?
Well, Michaels is the wrong coach, but Jim Kensel's the problem. He doesn't want to hire George Allen. He doesn't want to lose any.
Is all the problem, right?
Jim Kensel. Leon Hill should come out and speak to the fans.
Why don't you coach?
Okay. What do you think about the Jets?
The Jets are #1. They're great.
Oh, we found a live one here. He loves the Jets. Yeah, keep him. Marv, I'm going to throw it back to you. I think I'm going to get mugged down here.
All right, Jim. I've never seen a former field goal kicker get swallowed up by the crowd. Jim Turner talking with fans here at Shea Stadium as we look at the first half statistics. Yes, yards passing. The story, 216 yards in the air for Richard Todd, who was 16 for 23, although the Jets have been outrushed primarily by Earl Campbell. Oilers 96 yards on the ground, only 24 yards passing. Stabler 5 for 11. And again, that offensive line, as was the case last week against the Miami Dolphins, having difficulty. The start by Carter ends Mock's string of 155 consecutive starts, including 7 playoff games. First out at the 20-yard line. Campbell with a short pickup. Marty Lyons making the stop on the play. Gastineau, Salam, Lyons, Klecko up front. Superb first half for Joe Klecko. And the linebackers, Butto, Blinka, and Mel. The Jet defensive unit with their finest play of the season in the first half. Darrell Ray picking up a key interception. That did Johnny Lynn. Lynn's intercept leading to the Flea Flecker touchdown. Todd to Augustiniak, to Todd to Walker. 2nd and 9. Here's Campbell. Marty Lyons stopping Earl Campbell. Campbell scored the Houston touchdown, his first touchdown of the season. In fact, for the Oilers, their first rushing touchdown of the season. Ronnie Coleman has replaced Rob Carpenter. And the Jets go with a 5th defensive back. Johnny Lynn has come on in his 3rd and 13. Kent Stabler 6 for 12, but no yardage at all picked up in the air. He tried to cross him up, did not work. Campbell stopped on the draw by Lyons, Buttle, and Bell. So the Jet defensive unit has come out strong on this first series by the Oilers to get the 3rd quarter underway. Obvious passing situation, and Stabler tried to cross the Jets up, but the Jets did not go for it. Here's Cliff Parsley back at his 5. This is Bruce Hopper. And tripped up, but a penalty marker down. Number 36, Carter Hartwig, getting a piece of Hopper, who at first was thinking fair catch and then changed his mind. But the penalty marker down, and we'll hear it from Jim Tunney. Well, my broadcast partner Jim Turner making his way back from the stands. The Jets hard hit by penalties in the 2nd quarter. And they're marking it off again.
Illegal block from the rear, number 26, during the run back. First down.
Dykes called for the illegal block. And the Jets, as you look at their offensive alignment, 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Augustiniak and McNeil in the backfield. There's the front line. Todd going sideline for Walker. Out of bounds for the first down. Greg Bingham pushed him out. So Wesley Walker, who has had an excellent day, he has caught 2 touchdown passes. Doris, Kennard, and Bethea up front for Houston. And the linebackers, Washington, Hunt, Bingham, Brazil. J.C. Wilson has been a favorite target of Richard Todd. First down for the Jets at their 38-yard line. We are early 3rd quarter. And again it's Walker for a Jet first down. That's his 7th reception. Wait a moment, he may have been out of bounds.
The official called that one out of bounds, Marv. Ooh, I'm glad to be back in the booth.
Welcome back, Jim.
No, they wanted me to put my shoes on and kick.
All right, here's the reception by Walker, and 1 foot. All right.
Oh, close. Another judgment decision. It's close. You know, there's a big discussion. When is it? When is he in? When is he out? When is it a reception? I like what Richard's doing, though. He's continuing to flood the zones and spread his receivers out.
2nd and 10. McNeil a yard on the play. Ken Kennard, the nose guard, making the stop.
It's pretty evident neither team's going to be able to run the ball today. Both defenses are stacked for the run. Kinney's having the toughest time right now getting his passing game going over Richard. The Jets can't afford to gamble foolishly, though, on any play.
3rd and 8 for the Jets at their 40-yard line. Oh, beautiful catch by Bobby Jones. And a Jet first down. Vernon Perry with the hit on Jones.
Boy, the ball looked like it was going to be overthrown down over the middle. Tremendous effort. Let's watch this. Once again, Richards getting good time to throw. He sets up, he throws it. Watch the leap here. Very nice, very nice. Bobby Jones. One of 2 players on the field today that did not go to college.
Tony Fritsch being the other. First down at the Houston 45. And McNeil carrying tankers on his back. Vernon Perry wrestled him down. Illustration of the strength of 5'11", 225-pounder Freeman McNeil, the rookie out of UCLA.
I know we've mentioned it before, Marv, but the Jets are running to the left over Chris Ward now that Powell's out of the game today, and over Randy Rasmussen, my old teammate, the last survivor from the 1968 Super Bowl team. Tell me he's not an old man.
We'll pass on your comments. 2nd and 5. And McNeil not able to turn it. Darrell Hunt closing it off at the far side. On the subject of Randy Rasmussen, he is, by playing today, set the Jet record for most games played at 196. He was tied with another former teammate of yours, Winston Hill. So he has passed Winston by despite the sprained foot. And during the week, he was considered to be a doubtful.
Well, you admire Randy as a person, but his longevity in the game and his contributions tremendous.
Jets have a 3rd and 6 at the Houston 40. Todd is 18 for 25. Intended for Kenny Lewis. Robert Brazil covering on the play. And Chuck Ramsey will leave the punting unit on. So the Jet drive is stopped. 4.5 minutes have gone by in this 3rd quarter. The Jets looking for their first win of the 81 season. They come in at 0-3. Houston at 2-1, a victory over the Rams in LA, beat the Browns in Cleveland 9-3, and then lost to Miami last week 16-10. 5th punt of the day for Ramsey. Again looks to angle it to keep it away from Roaches.
He got that one. Flags down.
Penalty marker down. Ramsey tried to angle it in his last punt attempt and nearly put it out at the 1. Procedure call against the Jets.
How many is that today, Marv? Too many. It's interesting that the Jet offense has shut down forcing Ramsey to punt these short ones just a few yards out of Pat Leahy's range.
Illegal formation. Offensive line not up on the ball. 4th down.
Special teams mistake. You lose your championships. Can't afford them.
Jim, that is now 8 penalties costing 71 yards assessed on the Jets. Again, reminiscent of the game against the Cincinnati Bengals. That does tend to catch up.
Definitely will.
Oh, a bad snap. And again, the directional flying over the head of Roaches and skipping in.
See, that's the problem, Marv. Once the punter does get it out of bounds on the 9-yard line, it's very, very tough to expect him to do it again.
And the Oilers will take over 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line. 10-13 left, 3rd quarter. 20 yards last week against Miami, except for the 71-yard touchdown pass to Ken Burrow. Houston offense in a struggle. incomplete. Stabler close to being sacked. He was shoved down. Following the delivery, Klecko and Gastineau spending a lot of time in the Houston backfield.
They did the same thing last year. I think it's safe to say that today Kinney's been very ineffective. Very, very ineffective. I'm not too sure to say that that may be Kinney's fault or the fact that the Jets are just playing outstanding football at the moment.
2nd and 10 for Houston, back at their 20. And again, he is sacked. It's Kenny Schroy, the strong safety, on the blitz.
Another safety blitz. Both times they've done the safety blitz, twice it's resulted in a sack on the quarterback. Watch him come in. Kenny's got nowhere to go but down. Tremendous play by Kenny Schroy.
And that's the 4th sack of the day by the New York Jets.
They're getting their sacks through the safety blitz a little bit different than what Miami did to Kenny Stabler last week.
Last week it was Bob Baumhauer going right through the middle. Darrell Ray with a sack earlier. Look out. It's a safety. David Carter, the Houston center, recovering in the end zone and covered up.
Right through his hands. Karl Mock's not playing today. David Carter's new in there. Kinney can't get to it. It bounces away. Klecko's in there. Struggle for the ball.
Combination of Klecko and Buttle all over David Carter. 2 more points for the New York Jets.
This is the idea behind the IBM.
We're seeing them lining up in the free kick situation after a safety. The team is penalized when they have a safety called on them. What teams normally do is they put their kickoff team in, take the kicker out, and put the punter in.
What a disastrous day it has been for the Houston Oilers, who now trail 23-10. This is Harper. Armstrong following him all over the field and finally hauls him down.
He was looking for some help. He didn't get any there. It was a nice high punt by Parsley, number 18 of the Houston Oilers. But once again, Richard Todd in the offense has very nice field position to go with.
Jim, if you're not on an airplane tonight at about 8 o'clock right here on NBC, I suggest Bob Hope special, Johnny Carson anniversary show gets underway at 8. Featuring Bruce Jenner and Merlin Olsen, both in most unusual roles. You might label it bizarre.
Merlin Olsen, my old college teammate, I tell you, Utah State.
First out of the 35, penalty marker down, so the play is blown dead. Procedure against the Jets.
Another penalty.
Right here, let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
KXAS TV, Channel 5, Fort Worth, Dallas.
Marv Albert, Jim Turner, Shea Stadium in New York. The Jets in a surprise, leading the Houston Oilers 23-10. And your old pal Randy Rasmussen just hit with that procedure penalty. Jets now 1st and 15. Beautiful move by McNeil. I think Walt Michaels was close to a smile.
Yeah, he did. He even clapped. Watch, he likes what he sees. We'll see it again. Look at him. He likes what he sees in his #1 draft choice. Watch McNeil make a cut in here. This is why he was the 3rd man taken in the draft this year. Look at that quick cutback. Leading rusher at UCLA. He's going to have a good career here. I think overall Walt is happy with the total picture today.
14-yard pickup for McNeil, making for 2nd and 1 at the Jet 44. Augustiniak, first down, and some more out to midfield. Mike Augustiniak, first-year pro out of Purdue.
The Jets are getting off the ball. Watch them right there. They're not letting the defense penetrate. Augustiniak reminds me of a great deal of a player from Hofstra, an old teammate with the Broncos, Fran Lynch. Nothing flashy, but always there, always contributing.
Mike Augustiniak signed as a free agent and impressed the coaching staff in training camp. Todd throwing on first down. Penalty marker down. McNeil, the receiver, but a flag down again.
In that area, I think we're sure to see a holding call against the Jets.
And holding it is. So the penalties continue to pour home. Although to this point, it has not hurt the Jets. One Houston drive resulted in a field goal thanks to the excellent defensive play of the Jets.
It can mount up, though, if you keep getting used to it.
Holding, 72, 10 yards, still first down.
Well, Chris Ward, who had a holding problem earlier this season, called for his first hold of the afternoon. Ball is placed back at the 40, making for a 1st and 20 for the Jets from their 40-yard line. That is penalty number 10 against the Jets. Todd with lots of time, but broken up. J.C. Wilson batting it away from Wesley Walker. All right, here's an update on what's going around the NFL. Let's go back to NFL 81. All right, Brian, Jim and I saw the Baltimore Colts have many a problem with that Denver defense last week. The Colt offense, after whipping New England in the opener, not able to get going.
Well, the Denver defense is awesome in itself.
Jets have a 2nd and 20 at their 40-yard line. McNeil. Recovered by the Oilers. Freeman McNeil with the game's first fumble. Carter Hartwig, the 3-year veteran out of Southern California, able to cover up, and so Houston with a break.
It's the first time this year that McNeil has played a great amount of the time, and it comes right out. Watch it, coughed it right up. Carter Hartwig.
Called. We'll be back in a moment.
19.
Back at Shea Stadium in New York, I'm Marv Albert along with Jim Turner. The Houston Oilers have just recovered a fumble. Rookie running back Freeman McNeil coughing one up. Carter Hartwig able to cover up. So Houston with an opportunity, first down at the Jet 44. Earl Campbell slanting to the right. And he fumbles and the Jets recover. Bell and Plinka involved. Looked to be Lance Bell, second-year man out of Penn State, who was able to cover up an exchange of fumbles.
Momentum. It happens all the time. Watch it. The quick pitch from the eye, a handoff rather, with Timmy Wilson leading. Oh, it went right out. They went for the ball, put the helmet in there. Big turnover. The Jets have to take advantage of these turnovers. One thing we see different today is the time of possession for the Jets. To date, they've had the ball the least amount of time.
Jets first down at their 42-yard line. 7.5 left, third quarter. Jets 23, Oilers 10. Augustiniak. First down and more. Jim, we talked about the poor Jet tackling earlier. Bad tackling here by Houston.
It's been very evident today on that particular play. Richard floods the zone. Look at him. His primary is covered. He comes back, goes to Augustiniak. We're going to see about 3 tackles missed. But also, let's give credit to Augustiniak for his second, third, and fourth efforts. There's 2. There's 3. Look at this.
It's a 19-yard pickup, first down at the Houston 39-yard line. Penalty marker down. It is incomplete. Ted Washington covering Jerome Markham. Check of the scoreboard. Buffalo leading Cincinnati. Jim Breach just kicked a 23-yard field goal for the Bills. Pittsburgh over New England. Franco Harris has scored twice. Bradshaw's thrown one. Cleveland over Madden 28-10. Mike Pruitt just scored for Cleveland on a 1-yard run. Detroit on an Ed Murray field goal from 36 yards out, leading Oakland. Philadelphia over Washington. Redskins looking for their first win of the season. Louis Giamona, former Jet, just took one in for the Eagles. And Miami over Baltimore.
Lined up in the middle of the zone. Encroachment, number 83. Still first down.
And one of the scores, second quarter. Minnesota and Green Bay tied at 10. Jerome Barkham called on that penalty. So the Jets are hit with their 13th penalty. It is a 1st and 15 at the 45. Freeman McNeil lost his footing. And an update, Minnesota now in front of Green Bay 13-10. Kent Kennard, Ted Thompson able to cover up on McNeil.
Freeman lost his footing on that, but it was good coverage by the Houston defense. Short pass. I think right here Richard would be satisfied to run some time on the clock and take 3 points out of here.
Now that man has to be satisfied with the way things have gone to this point. His Jets leading it 23-10. Jets have a 2nd and 12 at the Houston 42. Nice fake by Todd. Baker and Bingham combined to make the stop, but they are short of a first down. A 3rd and 9 coming up. J.C. Wilson shaken up on that last play. J.C. in his 4th year out of the University of Pittsburgh, and his side has been very active.
I've been wondering all day when the defensive backfield coach Bob Gamble of the Oilers would replace him possibly with Carter Hartwick.
We'll be back in just a moment. Well, J.C. looks to be all right, shaken up. Here's a look at how it took place.
That's hitting is for sure right there. He put his shoulder into Newton.
And a rookie out of Purdue, a 6th round draft pick, has come out to play the left corner, replacing Wilson. They mark it as a 3rd and 8. Close to the first down marker. Bobby Jones battling his way. Penalty marker thrown down.
Marv, you can't lose your temper. It's the second hit that always gets penalized, not the first hit. I think this is going to be against the Jets.
This is a game that was penalty-free, or virtually penalty-free in the first quarter. Very quick-moving first quarter, but they've certainly made up for it, particularly in the 2nd and 3rd quarters.
Offsetting fouls, personal foul, New York and Houston during the dead ball. Pass was complete. It'll be 4th down. 4th down.
Well, let's take a look at it again. I think we're going to see there should have been a foul on the Houston Oilers. Nice catch. A good effort here. He breaks a tackle. He gets through. But watch what happens in here. He's down. Now, boom. There should have been a flag thrown there. But he gets up, he gets mad, you throw the ball back. Never does the second hit. See, watch it. Don't lose your poise in a big game.
So offsetting penalties, it is a 4th and 1. At the 30-yard line as the Jets go for it. Scott Durking picking up the first down.
It's going to be close, Marv. Seems to think they stopped and the offense is walking on the field.
All right, here come the yardsticks. Just under 6 minutes remaining, third quarter. And they did stop the drive.
Let's take another look at it. With Durking in there. Good support. Good support. Greg Bingham. That's good defense. This is what the linebacker's job's all about. He sees the hole, he fills it, puts his helmet in there. I tell you, the job description of a linebacker is kind of insane. If you see a hole, put your head in it.
Yeah. So Houston takes over. 1st and 10 at their 30-yard line. Kenny Burrow. And Burrow gets outside. Ken Burrow going all the way. An enormous play for the Houston Oilers to move right back in it. Beautiful block thrown by Mike Renfro to help unleash 0-0 Ken Burrow. Watch number 82.
Watch it now. It's a simple smash play. He just comes across 3 yards deep. His talent takes it the rest of the way and his speed. But we've said it all along, when Stabler's in the game, watch what happens. You can't afford this type of a run back against you. Maybe they should have kicked the field goal to make it 26-10. Something to think about. The Jets maybe should have kicked the field goal.
Well, in that situation, you really could second guess either way.
Oh, sure you can. Most calls can be second guess. I was just thinking, as a kicker, I always wanted to kick.
Yeah. 70-yard run by Burrow. And here's Tony Fritsch, important extra point, and he's got it. So the Jet lead is now cut to 23-17. 5.5 remaining. Third quarter, and this ball game suddenly takes on a different complexion. With his third touchdown of the season, going 70 yards off the pass from Stabler, and the Jets now lead it 23-17. Kenny Lewis. Lewis put on a move and almost got the daylight.
Marv, that was a very nice kickoff by Tony Fritsch. 1 yard deep in the end zone. This has been an entertaining game.
And the Oilers are right back in it. The Jets moving in front, leading at halftime 21-10. Buffalo with the 21-10 lead on Cincinnati now in the fourth quarter. Jets first down at their 30-yard line. McNeil and Augustiniak in the backfield. This is McNeil. Turning up to the 35, setting up a 2nd and 5. McNeil stopped by Skogstad and Hunt. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, and it's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the New York Jets and the National Football League is prohibited.
I think the fans so far in these 3 quarters have certainly been entertained.
Well, we've seen a little bit of everything. A flea flicker, a safety.
Reverse.
2nd and 5. Intended for Bobby Jones, broken up by J.C. Wilson, who apparently is all right. He was shaken up on the last series.
We've mentioned his name several times, many times that other teams are picking on him, but he has made some very big plays today. JC's a veteran. He knows they're trying to come in and watch the line play. There's Elvin Bethea coming in on a rush. The old veteran of 14 years, blocked 2 field goals a couple of weeks ago against David Jacobs in Cleveland.
This real test now for the Jets. They had the comfortable lead and wiped away the pressure, and now being threatened by the Oilers. Wesley Walker, and what a day he has had.
Richard Todd came right back against J.C. Wilson, came right back to it. He fell down. J.C. fell down again, but I tell you, I like Richard's brashness today. He's coming out confident, cocky. They've got a good game plan. We'll see it here again. He's looking at the receiver all the way because he knows he can beat Wilson. Watch this. Wilson does slip. He's down, but Walker's having a big day.
That's his 7th reception of the day. That is a career high for the 5-year man out of the University of California. He's had an injury-plagued career. McNeil. And he is trapped back behind the line. Houston Oilers all over. Freeman McNeil later scores second quarter. Vikings over the Green Bay Packers 20-10. What's your feeling about the John Jefferson trade?
Marv, I think they probably are celebrating in San Diego. They gave up, in effect, 3 number 1s, a player that can play today, and a number 2. I think they gave away their future just as they did to the Los Angeles Rams a couple of years ago in the Johnny Hadle trade.
On the other hand, the combination of Lofton, who caught one earlier, and Jefferson.
Oh, it's frightening.
Awesome. 2nd and 11 at the 46. Quick opener. Bruce Harper. Harper refusing to go down. Perry and Schembler holding him down.
The offensive theory, when you go up against a 34 defense with the nose tackle over the center, you don't run around it with 4 linebackers. You attack it straight up the gut. We'll see it here again. Of course, Harper's got fresh legs. He's coming in. Look at him. What a hole. I could have, well, maybe I couldn't have, but we could have maybe gotten through that hole. Nice move. Vernon Perry brings him down.
So a first down for the Jets at the Houston 32. 2.5 remaining, third quarter. Jets leading at 23-17. And a first down picked up by Augustiniak. Mike Augustiniak has had himself a very impressive day.
Seems to be he might gather a reputation here for being Mr. Clutch, like Rocky Bleier was for the Steelers. Look, he's coming through on some big plays right now. Look at him in there.
Correction, that is short of a first down, and it's a 2nd and about 2. Now Bobby Jones to the left. Wesley Walker right. Here's Harper. Ooh. Hard hit by number 54, Greg Bingham. Greg Bingham in his 9th year out of Purdue. Big play specialist. 6'1", 229 pounds.
He's never missed a game for the Houston Oilers. Leading tackle for 8 straight years.
And he enjoyed the Boilermaker last-second victory over Notre Dame yesterday.
I'm sure he did. Pro players follow their colleges closely.
3rd down and 2. Hopper and Newton in the backfield. Nearly picked off by Perry. Vernon Perry was cradling it, but Todd threw a bullet.
Well, Todd threw a bullet, but he also looked at his receiver all the way from the start, and it was easy for Vernon Perry to read the direction that the quarterback was going to throw. These 3 points can be vital because the scoring combination as it is right now, 1 touchdown, and the Oilers can still take the lead.
Pat Leahy has come on. Pat Ryan will hold. It is a 42-yard attempt for Leahy, who is 4 for 5 this season. It is good.
Nice kick, Pat.
45-yard field goal for Pat Leahy. And the Jets have taken a 26-17 lead on Houston with 55 seconds remaining in this third quarter. A reminder, next Sunday, join host Brian Gumble for NFL 81. All the scores, late-breaking news, all the highlights from all the games around the NFL, and then doubleheader of NFL action featuring the AFC East battle. Burt Jones leading the Baltimore Colts against the Buffalo Bills, and the Cleveland Browns playing the Rams in LA. Check your local listings for the games in your area. That's next Sunday, 12:30 Eastern Time on NFL 81.
A very nice, important 41-yard field goal just successfully attempted there by Pat Leahy, the New York Jets kicker. You have to admire this this situation with Pat. He's had a lot of people say that he can't kick the clutch field goal. I don't really know his total history. I do know one thing: he's lasted in this stadium on this team a long time, and the stadium can make or break a kicker. It's a difficult stadium. It's nice today, but majority of the time, impossible.
You were out here, what, 9 in the morning, checking the wind factor?
Oh, I always used to be. I did it today.
Carl Roches run into his old man, Adger Armstrong, and then runs it out. He and Armstrong bumped Al Washington. Jet rookie linebacker Kurt Sohn combining to run him out. And all of us here at NBC Sports would like to extend our condolences to George Siliberto and his family. We are 43 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Jets first down at, let's say Houston first down at the 20. The tight end Mike Barber stopped by the combination of Mel and Blinka. Mike Barber has had a difficult season. Last year, 59 receptions, most ever by a Houston tight end. He has dropped some in critical situations.
Yes, he has, and that may be why they haven't thrown to him a tremendous amount of the time this year.
Time running down in this third quarter, a 2nd and 5 coming up. And the Jets have recovered. Greg Butler with the hit on Ken Stabler. So the Jets will take over deep in Houston territory as this third quarter has run out. At the end of 3, the score here at Shea. The Jets 26, the Oilers 17. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
Take a look at what we see here. Watch. He does fumble the ball. It's knocked down by Butler. But watch number 48, Schroy there. He knows the ball's on the ground. He holds Kinney so that he can't get the ball that's at his feet. Heads up by Schroy. Heads up play.
And Houston with their 4th turnover. Jets take over first down at the Houston 20 as we open up 4th quarter. Jets lead it 26-17. Play action for Tom. Let's see if it's complete. Incomplete. He short hopped it. Jerome Barkham picking it off the grass.
Close call there. Very close call there. Good call, ref. Good call. I won't question you again for a little while.
Yes, on the replay, a no question.
No question. But once again, I like the offensive game plan today of the Jets. They are attacking. They're not laying back. They're attacking.
Todd has a 2nd and 10 at the 20. A quick opener for Tom Newton. Greg Bingham, the right inside linebacker, making the stop. Tom Newton in his 5th year out of the University of California. Earlier this week he said the Jets are too tight, too intense. They've been playing scared. That of course has not been the case here today, and after the Oilers move right back in it off the Stabler to Burrows 70-yard touchdown, Jets were able to hang tough and completed a drive with the field goal by Leahy. It's a 3rd and 4. Beautiful catch by Wesley Walker.
They just exude confidence today. Another catch for Wesley Walker. Perfect pass by Richard Todd. He's getting very good. He's rolling out to the short side. Good protection. Watch the catch. Beautiful. It's so graceful through the air. Yes, sir. Good call, ref. Very nicely done by Wesley Walker.
It is a 1st and goal down at the 2. Walker's 8th reception. That's a personal high for Wesley. Richard Todd is 24 for 37. Over 300 yards in the air. Kevin Long trying to weave his way in.
Well, you accomplish a couple of things down here by calling a play like that. First, let the clock run. You get a couple of yards. Let your receivers rest a while. They're having a big problem with some fans here on the sidelines. I really do like the confidence of the New York Jet offense today.
It'll be a 2nd and goal. At about the 2-yard line. Over at the far side. Some of the specials here at Shea having difficulty with several fans. And the crowd is reacting. Touchdown for Kevin Long.
Marv, while they scored a touchdown there was some fans that come over the fence and were fighting some of the New York Jet players. I don't know what's going on today.
Well, there were promises of demonstrations and pickets for outside Shea Stadium. For earlier in the day, there was the thought that the Jets would receive a rude welcome from the crowd, and they were booed as they stepped on. You're watching the TD by Kevin Long. Back to the live action. Pat Leahy drives one through. But the Jets have actually obliterated all the reasons for booing. With a 34-17 lead now on the Oilers of Houston. 13.5 remaining. 4th quarter.
Used to be when I had
all the excitement on the sidelines with the fans fighting everybody. That was a very, very nice run for a touchdown there. You know, Marv, honestly, the Jets are just running through and throwing over the Oilers.
There's a later score. The Eagles having a rough time with the 0-3 Redskins in the 4th quarter. Philadelphia by 1, 14-13. 1st and 10 at the 23. A short setup by Stabler. And it is ruled that Mike Barber was stopped. Good coverage by Ken Schroy.
I'm impressed with Schroy today. He had 8 interceptions last year. They're forcing Kenny Stabler to throw. We may see another interception here today. He has lost some of the power, the zip on the ball, especially when you throw the sidelines.
We touched on it briefly, the questioning of Stabler's arm, but why doesn't he throw long? You have to wonder. It's a 2nd and 8. Badger Armstrong on his first carry of the ball game. Abdul Salam, number 74, the left defensive tackle, making the stop.
That's a very good question, especially when you're down 33-17 in 12 minutes, 12.5 minutes to go in a game. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
He did succeed with swing passes to both Burrow and Campbell earlier for long gainers, but has not looked to put it up deep. It's a 3rd and 7. It's time to go sideline. Nice catch, Jerry Holmes covering Mike Renfro, and a 1st down for Houston.
Tremendous pressure on Stabler that time. Tremendous pressure by the entire interior defensive line of the Jets. Watch him make the catch here. Oh, good footwork. Good footwork. That's what they're taught. They practice. Watch the pressure now. Leon Gray, we haven't mentioned his name all day today. All-pro tackle being pushed back. Gastineau once again. Klecko was in there.
15-yard pickup, 1st down at the 38-yard line. Earl Campbell, straight ahead move to the 42. Lance Bell, right side linebacker, making the stop.
Last time the Jets nailed the Houston Oilers line. Look at Leon Gray push Klecko back. Each play is new excitement.
Second and 7 for Houston at their 42-yard line. Jets go with the 5th defensive back. looking for Burrow, but it was underthrown. Donald Duck covering on the play. And we're set for an NFL update. Let's go to Byron Day in New York.
Thanks, Marv. In the Silver Dome in Detroit, the Lions are gambling on 4th down ahead 3-zip. Tom Skledaney completes a pass to Calicut. Detroit has a first down. This eventually led to a field goal. Now let's back to Marv.
All right, Byron. Jets leading Houston 33-17. We have 11.5 remaining in this fourth quarter. And the Jets with a 33-17 lead. 3rd and 7 for Stabler. Sack number 5 for the New York Jets. Gastineau with his second.
I tell you, they know if there's another flag is being thrown, it never fails. Watch what's happening in here. Klecko's not going to let him up. A little bit of fighting going on. He's holding. I wouldn't fight Klecko, not even with a tank. Look at this. But see, they know Kenny Stabler has to pass to get back in this game. The defensive line is just teeing off and going after
him. During the dead ball, 73 offense, 73 New York, 39 Houston.
Well, they called it on both the second-year running back out of Texas A&M, number 39, Adger Armstrong, and there's Joe Klecko, number 73.
I like Klecko. I like his attitude. That's the second penalty he's had today, but I like his attitude. Walt Michaels is tough that way, always fighting for the team. But the advantage right now is to the defense of the Jets. Kenny must throw. He doesn't have all the mobility in the world. They're just teeing off. Klecko and Gastineau, they're living in the offensive backfield today.
8 sacks by Miami last week, 5 sacks by the Jets today. Cliff Parsley averaging 47.5 per punt. Will kick to the combination of Kurt Sohn and Bruce Hopper. Jets waiting for the punt back at their 20. That's Hopper overrunning the Houston coverage. And pummeled out of bounds. Penalty marker down.
Tempers are flaring. Houston knows that they should win this game. The Jets are just fighting. They're not going to let them win the game. I'll tell you, there's no question in my mind that the Houston Oilers are missing their offensive center Karl Mock, and the fact that all-pro guard Bob Young is no longer on the ball club.
A bit over anxious, and Hopper able to take advantage of. Eventually bumped Hopper out of bounds, and a flag thrown because
had the perfect opportunity there to wipe out a punt return man.
Foul, late hit out of bounds, number 20, first down.
So the late hit called on Willie Tullis. The Jets first down at their 45-yard line. Richard Todd is now 23 for 36. And throwing on first down. Had to change his mind off the big rush by Houston. Number 90, Darryl Skogstad, first-year man out of California, Berkeley, getting it, along with inside linebacker Darrell Hunt.
Good decision by Richard Todd then. He was flushed out of the pocket. Many quarterbacks will throw out of fright right here. He steps up, he feels the pressure. Rather than throw, he just lays it down. It's a smart play. Let's open the window and let that plane through.
2nd and 10 for the Jets at their 45-yard line. 4 minutes gone by in this fourth quarter. Augustinian again able to rip up yardage. Again, an impressive run by Augustinian. Let's go back to Byron Day in New York.
Thanks very much, Mark. Following an
penalty markers are down. So the penalties continue to be called here in this fourth quarter.
Start, quarterback, 14.
Richard Todd drawing the Oilers offside.
You know there's a lot of flags thrown when the quarterback is called. I see now what Walt Michaels liked in Augustiniak.
False start, number 14. Still third down.
All right, Jim, that is penalty number 14 called on the Jets. Well, Miami and Baltimore tied at 14. The Colts able to bounce back after the convincing defeat at the hands of the Denver Broncos last week in Denver. Third down, 6 for the Jets at their 49. Penalty marker again. And let's see what the call is here.
Oh, my.
Wesley Walker claiming he was tripped up. And no penalty.
I think we're going to see that he was tackled, not tripped up. I don't blame you, Walt. I don't blame you at all. There was a flag at the line of scrimmage, but there should have been a flag downfield. Maybe we'll get to see it. Oh, he was tackled. Great camera work, gentlemen. Great camera work. There's no question about that.
Encroachment, number 65, defense, still third down.
Well, it's called on Elvin Bethea, but as our director Harry Coyle and producer George Finkel are demonstrating.
Oh my gosh, there's no question. He couldn't have caught the ball, but he was definitely tackled. Sure. I don't blame you for being upset. Look at this.
For Houston, that is only their 5th penalty of the day, which has cost 21 yards. It is a 3rd and 1 for the Jets. Kevin Long, first down. Kevin Long has been very effective, although does not have a big yardage total. Has done the job. Long stopped by a combination of Skogstad, Hunt, and Perry.
To date, the Houston Oilers defense has been left on the field too many times in these first 4 games. I think we're seeing a very tired defense right now, and I can't blame some of these fellas when the Jets can run through them for 3 and 4 yards and pick up a first down.
Coming in, the Houston defense ranked 4th in the AFC, but the Jets will certainly influence the stats come next week. Mike Augustiniak, who going into today's play had carried the ball only 5 times for 23 yards, but they've been calling his number.
Well, Marv, the word around the league was that the offensive teams were going to get well against the Jets and the Baltimore Colts. We're seeing what's happening here at Shea today, and also what's happening to Miami and Baltimore.
2nd down 5 for the Jets at the Houston 36. The Jets leading at 33-17. They have benefited from a successful flea flicker for a touchdown and from a safety. Augustiniak. Short gain at a penalty marker. Darryl Hunt have the arms around Mike Augustiniak.
We were talking about a fast first quarter. The last 2 and a half here have been just flag filled.
And the hold is called on the Jets.
They might set a record today.
We'll have to check that out. That is penalty number 13. Well, they had 19 against Cincinnati, which was not
holding 65. 10 yards, still 2nd down.
Although I've seen the Oakland Raiders get penalty after penalty after penalty and come up on top of many a game.
The center, Joe Fields, called on that penalty. Actually, they are fairly close. We've just been informed that 14 penalties accepted is the record. Todd going for the home run for Walker. And a very fortunate play by Greg Stemrick. He broke it up, but that was not the way he intended to do so.
Well, it was a good play. It wasn't facing either. It wasn't, you know, shaking his arms or anything. He was going after the ball, slightly underthrown, but Richard is throwing it into the face of a slight wind. Greg Stemrick, considered by many in the Houston area to be their best defensive back.
And he comes off an outstanding all-pro season. 8:23 left, fourth quarter. Philadelphia coming back now in front of Washington, 24-13 in the fourth. Third and long. And it's Kenny Lewis stopped. So the Jets will be forced to punt. And a very important series upcoming now for the Houston Oilers.
Oh, it's make or break time now for Kenny Stabler and the Houston Oilers. This is a good time now for Ramsey, the Jet punter, not to punt it right straight down. Just bunt the ball. Kick it over the line of scrimmage to one of the corners and let it bounce down there. Don't try to hit it out on the spiral in the air.
Carl Rochus awaits the punt back at his 10-yard line. Jets taking a lot of time. No hurry at all with the 33-17 lead. And the fair catch called for by Rochus. So the Oilers take over at their 10-yard line. 7:36 remaining, fourth quarter. The Jets on top, 33-17. Second and 20 back at the 10. Jets just teeing off and getting to Stabler. That time he was fortunate to get it away.
He did the only thing he could do there. Klecko had him in the end zone for a safety. He just threw it away. Walt Michaels has to feel very good inside at this moment. All the pressure he took. People blatantly and openly saying the man should be fired today. He has to feel very good about his team's performance, with the exception of the penalties.
Of course, another question will be raised by Michaels' critics tomorrow. They'll say, why couldn't the Jets be playing like this all along?
And if they look bad next week, it'll start all over again.
Stabler throwing sideline and underthrows. Intended pass for Mike Renfro. A hand for the Jet defensive unit. Jim, I have a feeling that Ken Stabler will not be enjoying dinner tonight with his offensive line.
No, I don't think he will, but that pass is a good case in point of what we've been discussing. The ball was underthrown with no velocity on it at all.
So the punt upcoming by Cliff Parsley. And a short punt off the side of his foot. Kurt Sohn. Good coverage by the Oilers. .6:15 remaining in this fourth quarter. The Jets leading at 33-17, and the Jets will go back to the offense when we return after these words.
Today, when many makers are taking quality out of their cigars, Dutch Masters is putting more in. Many others have switched to manufactured wrapper that isn't all tobacco. But Dutch Masters still grows premium leaf to age into our famous light-colored natural Claro wrapper. And now Dutch Masters is enriching its blend with Havana seed tobaccos. We're putting more quality in so you get more pleasure out. Dutch Masters Presidents, naturally worth more.
There's nothing we want to watch on TV tonight, but we're still going to watch something great with our RCA video disc player and video discs. Just flip a switch, and on our TV, we see Airplane or The Pink Panther, The Godfather or Grease, Muppets, Monsters, Mickey, MASH, and 100 more, starting as low as $15. And the player costs less than $500. Put it this way, we're watching a great movie, and you're watching us.
When Lou Picone gets thirsty, Burt Jones suggests ice. Brian Sipe can make Newsom awesome. Willie Tullis, a man admired by his teammates. The saga continues next Sunday on it.
And there is quarterback John Reeves, 31-year-old in his 8th year, warming up on the sidelines, and we may see Reeves come on for Ken Stabler. Reeves had the good preseason, has not played yet in regular season. Gifford Nielsen, of course, out of action. Freeman McNeil. Baltimore 21-14 in the third quarter. NFL Report will have a complete update is what he said, following the Jets and Houston. David Woodley to Nick Giaquinto, 14-yard pass play to give the Dolphins the lead. Miami looking to make it 4-0.
Marv, we're going to see for the next, the remainder of the game, as long as the Jets have the ball, they're going to be totally happy to run the ball, run the clock out of here, get out of the field, get out of the stadium, and enjoy a victory. Their first of this season.
2nd and 4 for the Jets at the Houston 45. Newton and Lewis are running backs. Richard Todd dumping it off. Kenny Lewis on the completion. Robert Brazil putting the hit on Lewis, who picked up the first down.
Well, it's a smart play by Todd. He's running around scrambling, eating the clock up. Instead of endangering himself, he knows he's the important man on the offense and trying to run in there. Just a little short pass, and it does pick up the first down for the Jets.
First down for the Jets at the Houston 39-yard line. Richard Todd is now 25 for 39. Tom Newton. Scramble for the football, but the whistle had blown. It was, let's see. No, apparently not. Newton fumbled, and Houston recovering.
It's the first time this year I've seen the call made that late and called a fumble. John Reeves is in the game. Let's take a look at the fumble here. Once again, we said when you're attacking the 3-4, you go right up the gut, go after him.
And Darryl Skogstad recovering the fumble.
Well, it was definitely a fumble. There's no question about that.
John Reeves has 1st and 10 at his 34. Earl Campbell hit out of bounds near the 40-yard line by Johnny Lynn. Had Gifford Nielsen been the backup, you feel Ed Biles would have pulled Stabler earlier?
I really do, yes. Gifford has a lot of support in Houston. So does Kenny, actually. He is the old veteran. He is an old fox, but Gifford's arm has a little more zip on it. Well, so does John Reeves at this point.
Reeves called the Oilers the day that Ken Stabler announced his retirement. Went to camp, had the good preseason, and was signed. Intended for Burrow, covered by Dykes.
That was a good pass. Coming off the bench, warming up for 2 or 3 seconds. That may have been a drop ball. Kenny Burrow usually comes up with that catch. You can see him. He's a little upset with himself right now. Nothing's gone well for the Oilers today, obviously. We'll see it again. A little bit out in front of him, but we've seen it. We've seen him catch that ball before.
So it's a 3rd and 4 at the 40-yard line. Next week, Houston Oilers are home for Cincinnati in 2 weeks. Home for Seattle. Next Sunday, the Jets will play at Miami, and then 3 straight at home. There's a penalty marker. A familiar scene here at Shea today. Adger Armstrong, the intended receiver.
But Joe Klecko's so excited about having the field day that he's having along with Gastineau today. He wanted to get a quick start.
Look at the Baltimore Colts. They are right back, tied at 21 in the 3rd quarter.
That's not the same team we saw last week, is it, Marv?
Tough club to figure. Upset New England in the opener.
Offside, 73, defense, first down.
Joe Klecko on the offside. That ties the New York Jet club record for most penalties accepted by the opposition. That's number 14. Burt Jones to Ray Butler, 68 yards to tie it for the Colts. First down for Houston. Diving attempt. Mike Holston, the rookie out of Morgan State, covered by Donald Dykes, and Holston able to come up with a catch. Holston, a 3rd-round draft pick. In fact, Houston's first pick, because their first 2 selections went to Oakland for Dave Casper.
They're very high on young Mike Holston, number 84 out of Morgan State. There's been a change at left tackle. Angelo Field, bigger than life itself, is out at left tackle.
First down for the Oilers at the Jet 40-yard line. Penalty marker down. Tim Wilson. Fumble. The ball carrier, another fumble. And the Jets have recovered. Joe Klecko with the hard hit. But there is a flag down.
We just see Klecko coming in. He's having a field day today. Makes the original hit, coughs it up. He does recover the fumble, but it is a penalty on the Jets. I believe it's against number 99.
It is Mark Gastineau.
Defense. Ball reverts to the offense. First down and 5.
Lucky break for the Houston Oilers.
All right, Jim, that's the final score. Detroit over Oakland, 16-0. So now both Detroit and Oakland are 2 up and 2 down. 3 field goals by Ed Murray of the Lions. John Reeves coughs it up, and it's Gastineau covering up. It was Klecko who ran the blocker right into Reeves, who was able to survive the initial hit and then lost the handle.
Marv, nothing is going right for the Houston Oilers. Watch this charge by Klecko. He takes his man, Angelo Field, 320 plus probably, right into John Reeves. Look at that. There's a problem. He keeps going. Now watch it slip out of his hands. Oh, my goodness. Mark Gastineau and Joe Klecko today.
And we are seeing the New York Jets that we saw during the preseason.
Every working man believes his money is better in his pocket than in someone else's. So he expects quality and value. Can he find them in an American wagon? Absolutely. In Plymouth, yes, Plymouth. New, tough, Reliant K wagon. The only high-mileage, front-wheel drive, 6-passenger wagon in America. Sensibly priced, Reliant K wagon. The American way to get your money's worth.
This is Polaroid's new Sun camera, a new system with the fastest color print film made, 600 speed. But it needs one more thing to turn bad light into good pictures.
What's that?
A piece of the sun.
Daddy long legs.
There, a piece of the sun does it.
Turn this bad light into a good picture.
Sure, you use this on every shot. You see, you've never been so sure of an instant picture.
Lovely. Now you just reach up.
Well, don't waste it.
You've never been so sure.
I'd like to remind everyone that no one is permitted.
A very enjoyable afternoon for this young man, Joe Klecko. That Jet front line has been magnificent. Klecko, Gastineau, Lions, and Salam. Jets take over at their 47-yard line. 4:45 remaining in the fourth quarter. McNeil on a spin move. The Jets leading it 33-17. As you see, Houston with 5 turnovers on the day.
And I'll make an admission to you right here, Marv. I did not think Joe Klecko was that good until I saw him right here for the first time personally myself. I thought maybe a little bit of it might have been the New York media buildup, but he is an outstanding defensive end.
He has received the good press and a couple of cameo roles and motion pictures. Did not hurt the hype, but he has played very well these past 2 years. Again, the Jets keep it on the ground. Freeman McNeil, who has had an outstanding day, has picked up the first down inside the 40-yard line. Skogstad and Thompson combined on the stop. Buffalo and Cincinnati, as you saw, in overtime.
That surprises me. Buffalo's running over everybody this year.
And next week, Cincinnati will be playing the Houston Oilers. Walt Michaels, offensive coordinator Joe Walt.
People must be enjoying the fact that Freeman McNeil is seeing the ball a lot of times today.
Fans roaring because some fans again made their way onto the field and were being chased by some of the Shea security. Another beautiful move by Freeman McNeil. looked like a old-time cops and robbers movie.
Yeah. He really knows how to carry the ball. As a matter of fact, I think he's as strong right now at the end of this game as he was at the beginning. Look at the moves. Watch the leg drive. He's making sure that the Houston Oilers earn their money 60 minutes today.
Five-yard pickup for McNeil. Another final. Cleveland over Atlanta 28-17. So the Cleveland Browns are back at 500 now, 2 up, 2 down. And Atlanta with its first defeat. They are 3-1. Sight with 3 touchdown passes. Augustinian. Today, the shuffling of the running backs worked very well because Richard Todd able to set it up with the pass.
You're so right. If you can use the passing game, your running game will work. Augustiniak, I'm just totally impressed with him, but he did take a blow right then on the sidelines from number 36, Carter Hartwick. Hartwick put the helmet right on him.
Jets first down at the Houston 28-yard line. 2:25 remaining. Fourth quarter, Jets on their way to their first victory of 1981. And the Oilers will fall to the 500 mark. Augustiniak churning away. John Corker, backup linebacker, making the stop. So Ed Biles has emptied the bench in these final minutes. All the scores and highlights, complete update on the NFL Report with Bryant following the Jets in Houston here at Shea. Now the 2-minute warning. So the score here at Shea, Jets 33, Oilers 17. Jim, going into today's game, most of the questions revolved around the New York Jets. What does Eddie Biles do with his offense when he addresses himself to that problem when he returns to Houston?
Well, their goals this year when they hired Jim Schaffner as their offensive coordinator was to become more diversified, less dependence upon Frisch and Earl Campbell, but we just don't see that today. They are hurting in their offensive line.
It is a 2nd and 9 at the 27-yard line. 2 minutes remaining in the game. Kenny Lewis tripped up.
Pitch out to Kenny Lewis, tripped up by J.C. Wilson.
And now Philadelphia pulling away in the fourth quarter. Is that right? I see Carl Mock, or I saw him on defense. He played the nose guard position. That to keep his consecutive game streak alive. Mock was hobbling around last week. David Carter replaced him, starting at center. Mock just played in that last down.
And I bet he snuck on the field to do it. I know Carl Mock well. He is a tough, good, loyal football player.
He had a string of 155 consecutive starts during the playoffs, but obviously must have a string of consecutive games going. So Carl made his way out of the field. Timeout called, 1:21 remaining in the game. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Don Ohlmeyer. Football's coordinating producer is Ted Nathanson. The telecast of today's game has been produced by George Finkel, directed by Harry Coyle, technical director Arnold Rand, and associate director Joe Michaels. Thanks to our statisticians Mike Albert and John Gallagher, and our spotters Mike and John, our statistician John Hewitt.
Marv is a great pitcher on the Oiler bench right now. Stabler, Leon Gray, Kenny Burrow, and Earl Campbell. And I'll tell you, they are not very pleased with themselves. Carl Mock's down there giggling about sneaking in as a nose tackle on defense. There it is. We see Stabler and Campbell. I tell you, they are not very pleased. They know that when they get back to Houston, they have to totally reevaluate what has gone on with them this year.
They will go back at 2 up and 2 down. Thoroughly beaten here by the Jets. It's a 3rd and 9. Lewis with a short pickup. Greg Bingham on the stop. And again, overtime. New England and Pittsburgh. Second overtime game of the day. Tied at 21.
Marv, on the other hand, I won't be in New York this week to read all the reviews of this game, but I'm going to find it very, very interesting to see how Walt Michaels, his offense, Joe Walton, and the defensive coaches are treated. They did do a very good job today at Shea Stadium.
Jim, I'll send you the clips.
I'll take them. I would enjoy reading them.
Coming up following the Jets in Houston NFL report, complete rundown of what is going on around the NFL. And next Sunday, join Brian Gumbel for NFL 81. Doubleheader of NFL action to follow, featuring the Baltimore Colts, who are hanging in today against the Miami Dolphins, going up against the Buffalo Bills. Cleveland Browns travel to Los Angeles. Check your local listings for the games in your area. That's next Sunday, 12:30 Eastern Time, starting with NFL 81. And again, a trace of a smile on the lips of head coach Walt Michaels, able to put an end to the 3-game losing streak following the excellent preseason. All the hopes of the preseason going down very quickly for the New York Jets. But a terrific day here at Shea for the Jets. Kenny Lewis on the carry. Time running down, 52 seconds remaining.
Lewis the ball carrier.
And all the Jets are hearing now are cheers from the crowd.
Richly deserved, Mark. Richly deserved today.
So Houston takes over on downs. Oilers first down at their 22-yard line. This is John Reeves, and he is hit. And it is ruled. Let's see, they ruled it a sack or incomplete.
I would call that a sack. They may call it an incomplete because his hand is in the air. Nonetheless, Mark Gastineau is having himself one great day again, as he did last year against the Oilers.
Gastineau wanted the sack, but they say incomplete.
Yeah, the quarterback's arm was up in the air.
Jets with 7 sacks today. 47 seconds remaining. 2nd and 10 for Houston. Swing pass for Tim Wilson. And Wilson near the first down marker, stopped by Lance Bell.
And Marv, a statistic that will stick out in your mind right now, with 7 sacks today, 8 sacks last week, 15 in the last 2 games against the Oilers. It obviously tells you that the offensive line has not been very effective for the Houston Oilers.
And that front line of Gray, Schumacher, Connor, Fisher, and Towns. This afternoon, to be precise, Angelo Field saw some action. Carl Mock was in there last week. Timeout called by Houston with 38 seconds remaining. Recapping the scoring, Jets made it 7-0 late first quarter. Long from Todd on a 1-yard pass play. 75-yard kickoff return by Willie Tullis set up the tying score. Earl Campbell taking it in. Intended receiver Kent Burrow. Jerry Holmes covering as you look at Kent Stabler, who had himself a very long afternoon. Early second quarter, Todd to Walker, 29-yard pass play off a beautiful scramble maneuver by Todd. Jets led it 14-7. Later on second, set up by the interception by Johnny Lynn. The successful flea flicker, the play of the game. Todd to the running back, Augustiniak. Back to Todd, hit Walker on a 40-yarder, making it 21-7. Tony Fritsch kicked a 37-yard field goal. Safety gave 2 more points to the Jets. It was Stabler to Burrow for 70 yards, cutting it 23-17. 42-yard field goal by Leahy. And then a Stable fumble led to the Kevin Long touchdown to make it 33-17. Adger Armstrong on the reception as you see the time running down. Reeves going sideline, and Burrow is hit hard by Jerry Holmes.
Fans that came today and stayed today have really enjoyed themselves a feast. They may not have it again this year, but they did have it today. In all honors and everything that goes to the Jets, they deserve it today. They've played very, very good.
Well, the Jets and Walt Michaels taking away an anticipated storyline for tomorrow.
Yeah, a more than anticipated storyline.
Well, on NFL NFL 81 before the game, Jets president Jim Kensel came out and said Walt Michaels is the coach of the New York Jets for the entire 81 season. Holston not able to hold on. With 4 seconds remaining. Darrell Ray, the free safety, covering the rookie Mike Holston.
Things get sloppy at this point in a game like this, Marv. I just wonder why maybe the Houston Oilers right now won't run the clock out. Get it over with.
Well, you know that if they were home and doing that, they would be booed brutally.
Well, I'm sure they'd be booed, but there's no way they're going to come back with 33-17.
Head coach Ed Biles looking at Houston's final play. Reeves putting it up, and it is intercepted. Lance Mel concluding matters with the interception. And that will wrap it. Richard Todd and Walt Michaels shaking hands. The New York Jets with their first victory of 1981, and a convincer as they have walloped the Houston Oilers 33-17. A sensational day for Richard Todd. A very poor day for Ken Stabler. The Jets now at 1-3, and the Oilers drop to a record of 2 up and 2 down. Next week, Houston will be home for Cincinnati, and then in 2 weeks home for the Seattle Seahawks. Next Sunday, the Jets play at Miami, then 3 straight at home against New England, Buffalo, and Seattle. Richard Todd finished unofficially 25 for 39, 312 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Had to be one of his finest in his National Football League career.
Not only one of his finest, it came under a great amount of pressure on him also. People weren't only talking about Walt Michaels this week, they were questioning Richard Todd.
So Richard Todd, who faced the heat here this afternoon, the Jets able to get on the board early and able to surprise the Oilers with that flea flicker, which turns out to be a very big play. Go on to the 33-17 victory. This is Marv Albert with